Let's go.
인생 경기 하고 있거든요.
진짜 올킬 바로 눈앞이거든요. 누가 먼저요? 누가 먼저요?
승부는 모르는 거야. 해봐야 아는 겁니다. 마지막 한 장 플레이오프 티켓을 잡습니다.
We can get together.
Welcome to Clash Royale League Asia. It is time for the playoff. We are done with the regular season. This week, 2 days. Next week, 2 days. And then we move on to the finals to have our champion for the season number 2. My name is KOTH. With me is Ending Life. Today is going to be day 1. We're actually the first time of Group A of Group B clashing each other in the season.
Yeah, and ever since last season, I've been waiting for this day because last season we got to see Group A's and B kind of battle each other out a little bit earlier compared to this season. This season we had to go through 2 round robins to finally get to this position, but it's already playoffs. So we have the rankings of each teams from each groups, and now we have the first of Group A going against fourth of Group B. So it's gonna be exciting because fourth of Group B could still be as good as the first team of Group A.
Yeah, we've been through so many different patches, different game style, different meta, to say different meta cars. Right now, Wallbreaker is breaking a lot of things with the Valkyries and the Mega Knight and so on. Some RGs in there and so on, and some Royal Hogs about that. And that's about like 90% of all the decks that comes out right now. But it's been a week. Okay, it's been a week since the patch, and then players don't even know who's going to come out. And then it's the important playoff. The important part about today is that Asia actually has a different format than the West and China. We have double elimination format. If you're not familiar with that, today we don't have anyone knocked out for sure from the group side.
Exactly. So today we have 4 teams instead of 6 as we usually do, but we're going to still have 3 games. These are the rules on your screen. So yeah, we do see the prize pool. We do see what kind of teams that come out today and the double elimination. We're going to show you guys a bracket to kind of simplify it for you guys so you guys can see for yourselves. So, if you're confused, just stay tuned for a little bit. It'll come up soon.
Yeah, that's pretty quick.
Yeah, I know. It disappeared. I was like, wait,
guys,
why?
Trust in your eyes. This is still English. You can read all the Korean on the screen too. It's playoff, as you can see. First place, 50,000. That's a lot. That's a lot.
That's
First
a dollar
place,
sign.
Second place, 30, and then the second place, who does not make it into the finals, basically the teams that are third and fourth for the season, they will split. They'll basically split 7,500 and then so on. And then we do have a double elimination format for the top 4 teams from Group A and Group B, which now we'll actually call Group 1 and Group 2. So it is kind of confusing, but bear with us. As at the bottom of the screen, it says first, third from Group A versus second, fourth from Group B. That's Group 1. Okay? And then Group B, first, third from Group B versus second, fourth from Group A. That's Group 2, which is on the right of your screen right now. But for today, we're only going to focus on the left side. And we're not going to go through the entire thing. Only the top part of the left side.
Oh, yes. Thank you for the explanation, Professor KOTH. But yeah, so this is the bracket, and you guys can see nobody gets eliminated. we get to have 4 days of crazy playoffs to actually see which two teams deserve it to go to the finals.
Yeah, so at the end, only one team comes out from the left, and only one team comes out from the right, and then they go against each other at the final. Before that, they may not run into they cannot run into each other during the playoff, and that's where we focus today. Game 1, match 1 Kicks versus Sandbox Gaming. We have 1 Southeast Asia, 2 Korean teams, and 1 Japanese squad. So it's going to be basically packed action here. Match 2, Ponos versus OG and Entus in this new squad where they have not met each other for the entire season. We have no idea what's going to happen.
Exactly, and I'm very curious if both groups, teams and players from Group A and B studied each other. Obviously they did. I want to see, because they within Group A, they played each other so many times that they're so used to each other. Like, oh, all right, if this player comes out, he likes this deck. If that player comes out, he likes that deck. But this is a totally different group. They've never played each other. They probably saw each other's games. So I'm very curious, because even though it's a 4th place of Group B going up against the 1st, you never know. Anything could happen today.
And we're going to have a short video introduction of the teams right before we go into the match. Yes, get hyped. Special video for every single match from now on. Kicks, Sandbox. They better be ready for today.
Exactly. That was some great VCR. It was super short. I would have loved it if it was a little bit longer. Both Kicks and Sandbox, they're doing the same thing. We got the thumbs up from Kicks though.
Yeah, well played. Good luck. Good game. All in that action. It is a lot more anticipation for Kicks for sure. This season, they have been different. That's why they're in #1 spot. At the beginning, X-Treasure 15 just wiping us so many times. And then JP, Legend, Onion, Mountain just kicking ass everywhere. Sandbox, they barely cut it in here.
Yep, it was very surprising to actually see Sandbox make it up, but look at this. It says import players, or out-of-region players, rather. You guys can see their records of their whole season. But yeah, like I said before, this is just within their groups. So this is just a percentage that they went through throughout the regular season. You never know what's going to happen, because all these 3 players are great players.
That's keeping their highlights on there, because Icelot basically the player for Sandbox for 1v1.
Yep.
But Kicks, they have been swapping out a lot of their players. Beginning Pedro, and then JP, and then Sun Legend, Onion kicking in from time to time. So it's been very different for that squad. So a lot easier to predict who's going to come out for Sandbox, but for Kicks, who knows? It's really hard. I'm thinking it's going to be Pedro, very likely. But it's can never be right.
Okay, yeah. Can never be right. Yeah.
No, Pedro's in 2v2.
Yeah. So the funny thing is, Pedro actually played 1 2v2 with IMJP, and he won. They won against Tempura and Joker. 2-0, they did a sweep. So, and that was pretty recent. It wasn't like in the middle of the season. It wasn't. It was in the most recent week, and I think they like it. They like this combination because they both speak the same language. Usually if you have out-of-region players, sometimes we do have the language barrier, but these two, perfect.
Sonic, Connie and Sato, yeah, pretty similar stuff, and we have a freeze ban, which is really interesting. At least we have a tornado, so those 2 spells out of the way, but every single card, except for those 2, are available. Okay, IMJP did play a few more 2v2, but this is unexpected because they actually have the best win rate overall, 2v2, 1v1 included, and especially Pedro. He's played 16 games of 1v2 during the season, and he's going to be playing 2v2 in playoff.
Yeah. Well,
fooled me. Certainly, yes.
Yeah, it definitely did. Like I said, Pedro played 1 2v2. I never expected him to actually come out with IMJP for 2v2 in the playoffs, because it is every single game, even though it is a double elimination, nobody gets eliminated, it's still very important to just go on to the winner's bracket, kind of comfortably move on towards the finals. And now we have Connie and Sato. They've been sticking together for a while, so they're used to each other.
Yeah, Connie and Sato played 20 games of 2v2 together. Basically, that's why they have the same win rate, 40%, not the most highest. But the reason why they have been strong, it's a lot of their KOH result has been really strong, and Ice Law, of course, stick in that 1v1 role. Think they're good to go, but when they're faced off against an opponent that you don't really expect, I'm talking about Sandbox. Do you just go with the normal, what you have practiced? I think it's about time to go into game, though. 2v2 starts right now between Kicks and Sandbox. It's playoff time.
Definitely is. And the freeze ban, obviously, freeze has been used so many different places, offensive, defensive. It's a very great spell card. So that's why it's banned. It's going to open up a lot of doors for these players to try out new things.
So
Goblin Barrel.
So Barrel, and not the most perfect defense, of course. Even with the snowball, except for unless you have a bar barrel or actually a log, can be tough to defend perfectly. So Giant Skeleton Witch combination along with the wall breaker Kicks bringing everything fresh from their side.
All right. Very, very fresh. Inferno Tower is going to do the job, but the two wall breakers land there. So right now, Kicks, even though they didn't, quote-unquote, not have the best defense against the Goblin Barrel, their counterattacks are just hitting and hitting and hitting. Early game advantage.
Okay, so far, nothing else. Just a lot of spellbaits. Spellbait cards are actually coming out from Sandbox. And this is without a freeze we're talking about, so we'll have to see a little bit more. Kicks, they have been putting in a lot of damage already, over 1,000, especially with the miner on the back. So what does Sandbox have other than the spellbaits?
Well, once again, Kicks is going to go at it. Sandbox has to defend as well because they've already taken so much damage here.
Yeah, again, with the fireball damage into tower, again, the miner's still connecting, and the giant skeleton with the death damage, so nothing left onto the right side, and a perfect defense onto the left against the Dark Goblin. It's a great move by Kicks. So far, so good.
Okay, well, you saw IMJP kind of fist pumping because for that wall breaker, 2 elixir calls bats and log, so he thinks that was good. That was a good trade.
And that's tower down with just a fisherman. Sandbox had nothing to go against that perfectly.
Hey.
Yeah, because there were so many spells used already, so there comes the wall breaker from Sandbox this time. But
perfect.
Gone with the spawn damage with the Mega Knight. Okay, 48 seconds. Not too long of a time for Sandbox to do 2,000 damage. They got to do it now.
Yeah, they got to start doing it now, but as you see, they have no way to get through the defense of Kicks. So just seems like Kicks is going to just simply take game number 1. Even though it was the first game of, the two groups clashing.
They do have the log against the Goblin Barrel. Okay, they were waiting for the perfect time. Even the rocket. So a lot are ready for Sandbox, but taking even more damage onto the top left now.
Definitely not good, not looking great, but it is the first time they can prep. This is 2v2. We have a total of at least 3 matches, so.
Okay, but still, Dark Goblin, 7 seconds. Sandbox, they were just caught. Their winning condition, very few. Did not really work out in game 1. Kicks, very strong 2v2. We have not seen Pedro, IMJP playing that 2v2 too many times. Yeah, they have proved already to all the viewers out there. They're certainly making this work with the wall breakers and the miners.
Yeah, and you said that was a strong 2v2. I think that was just too strong. That was unfairly strong, just if you look at game number 1. But like we said, this is the playoffs. All teams here, they worked their way up here. They worked hard. They, adapted to opponents to kind of win their games to come up here. So we'll see if Sato and Kani could kind of swap decks so they can defend against it and also counter, because in game number 1, they just constantly got pressured. They were never able to get past the bridge because all the wall breakers, the Mega Knights coming down from Kicks, just they had the perfect defense and offense.
You can't really have perfect offense, perfect defense all at the same time.
Yeah, almost perfect. Almost perfect.
Then what do you think was the problem for Sandbox?
Well, Sandbox right now, to be honest, the reason I say perfect was because they only took chip damages from, spells and miners. So, and Goblin Barrels were, in the beginning, they didn't use the log, right? So, I would say almost perfect because, they let the chip damages go through. But those small, tiny damages aren't really, an issue for Kicks when they're doing so much more damage in return. So, that's why, I said perfect and it looked almost unfair.
Yeah, the duo has been using a lot of lava graveyard, but with the new patch, it's not the same. We can basically eliminate everything from from week 1 to 7 and then count what's been working from week 8. Game 1 did not really show up too well. A lot of spells were ready for him to counter side. Kicks on the point to actually take the set. Or Sandbox, can they come back in game 2?
To be honest, whether it be Sandbox or even Chaos Theory, who's 4th from Group A, I want a 4th place team to actually go up against the 1st place team, give them a hard time, or even win. Because that would be crazy. That would prove that both groups are different in rankings. Rankings don't matter. But so far, Sandbox not having such a great time.
Are you being biased, Ending?
I'm trying to not be biased and not look at the ratings, right? Because right now, to me, Sandbox is a 4th place team. Kicks is a 1st place team. And it's actually going the way it's supposed to if you look at the numbers. But I don't want that, right?
Okay, so far, a lot more E-Wiz and a Baby Dragon from Sandbox. They're certainly ready. They want to go a little bit heavier this time. And one of the best tools against the Mega Knight, it is the P.E.K.K.A.
All right, well, we are seeing some adaptations coming in through from Sandbox here by putting in that P.E.K.K.A. We'll see if that one P.E.K.K.A. change will actually do the job to go up against Kicks.
It's a straight up Mega Knight that was all the way back from the King Tower. So this P.E.K.K.A. will actually get a lot of its value what's after. So Sandbox, they're preparing some more, and the Lumberjack on to the left.
The Lumberjacks will meet.
Okay, no Tornado, no Freeze. They can still go something like a surprise balloon anytime.
All right, so from Sandbox, as you see, it's just going to be the P.E.K.K.A. Mega Knight Ram Rider deck that we are so used to seeing in the 2v2s. Say very similar coming in from Kicks as well.
Yeah, a lot more common in the West, not as much in Asia, but still we're getting some, at least a very few, but less than Hog Riders compared to it. So the Ram does not really do too much, and the Dark Prince doesn't even reach the tower onto the bottom left. Baby Dragon, not so far.
All right, so unlike game number 1, where Kicks was just dominating from the get-go, in game number 2, similar decks have come out. It's very similar. The chip damage is, very close. It's not a big difference, but that P.E.K.K.A. will make the difference because Kicks brought 2 Mega Knights.
So double that Mega Knight for the P.E.K.K.A. again and again. Okay, they don't have anything like the Goblin Gang or the Skeleton Army against the P.E.K.K.A., but still with that amount of damage, they're getting it through, okay? Kicks still working hard on their way up all the way. Double Mega Knight.
Ooh, Lightning going through to try to open up a gate for the bottom right side, but it's not going to work. Kicks, they still defended it pretty well, other than the Lightning damage going into the Princess Tower.
What's crucial right now for Kicks, against Kicks, the Sandbox, they have 2 E-Wiz to stop that charge. They can stop the charge so easily, and they have P.E.K.K.A. Okay, again. That's a jump damage. Okay, that's great. And Sandbox has been doing a lot more damage anyhow.
Yeah.
So Kicks, they got to find a really good opening.
Exactly, and they're even adding on the damage with the Lightnings from time to time. So Kicks have been taking a lot more damage compared to Sandbox. And I still gotta say that one P.E.K.K.A. is making a huge, huge difference for Sandbox Gaming here.
Okay, after the jump, ready with that Inferno. Had that Inferno for a long, long time from Connie's hand.
So right now, very different. This video, this picture that you're seeing, this game, very different from game number 1, where we thought, or I thought at least, Kicks was just dominating Sandbox. They were outplaying them, but now it's a totally different story.
Yeah, winning condition about the same. It is the double ram for both sides, but the bigger push. And Kicks has been using the cage really well, just like the Inferno Tower, so not too bad either. But of course, with the HP onto the tower, a lot lower. But one big push, one charge into the tower can make everything happen. So we'll have to see just a little more.
Yep. You guys can see that Kicks are feeling a little bit pressure. They're putting down everything by the bridge. They put down the Dark Prince. Yeah, great Lightning always coming in from Sandbox. The cage has broken up right away. So no big counter pushes coming because the units that they put down died very quickly.
And with the P.E.K.K.A., a whole lot of units having the mini stun. Only the Miner connecting. That's at least the good news for Kicks. Sandbox, they're pushing in really hard this time. Their defense looks really solid.
Yeah, their defense solid. But look at this, the Miner, the P.E.K.K.A. Really just the double Mega Knight and that one P.E.K.K.A. is just being that huge difference. The Miner chip from Kicks, not from Sandbox, have been going in, so they are slowly catching up. But will they be able to endure the pushes that are coming from Sandbox?
Comes the Executioner, which does survive the lightning, and even the poison was already used. Okay, so they know the time is going down really quick. They got to use all the spells to bring that down. Any kind of damage that they have in their hands. Okay, so far resting for just a second, but Executioner without the tornado is going to be hard to actually have a big moment of comeback.
Right. Now Kicks, they have to do something. They have to send the miner, they have to land the lightning, they have to land the poison, and defend against this huge push that Sandbox is building up. Nice lightning.
They got one down, but against the miner, that was a perfect prediction. Miner actually landing the damage onto the tower below 400. And with the lightning and poison, that's going to be it from Sandbox in spell damage range. Game 2. Sandbox Gaming. 1-1 tied.
Whew. It's going back and forth, and this is what a playoff should be like. You see one team win, the other team preps, changes, adapts, and comes back. And now we're going on to game number 3. But in game number 2, it was very different. It felt like we were kind of going back, you know, a patch or two, where we see the P.E.K.K.A, Mega Knight, and the Ram Riders coming through. So, wow. I want to see what's going to happen in game number 3.
So the big change from the side, not from Kicks, from Sandbox was that they had the P.E.K.K.A, and for the Ram Rider, that really didn't connect to the tower at all. But they were at least having their unit crossing a little better for that lightning damage onto the tower most of the time. And it was easier to defend, so they could save up some more elixirs before that Executioner came down. So Executioner, the reason why it didn't come out for such a long time is that there's no tornado. There's no like a big wave of push coming across the bridge, so the axe can actually do a whole lot of damage to all the small ones that will delete in just one single spin, which didn't really happen. So Kicks, they were holding on to so many cards until the later moment.
Yep. And we do get a timeout called out from Kicks. So now it's time for Kicks to adapt to kind of come back to what Sandbox has come back with the counter punch. And look at this. Sandbox, they feel so happy. Because I would be too, because you adapted to your opponent after you lose in game number 1, and it worked out in game number 2, so you're happy. Your preparation, your practice worked out. We'll see if Sandbox has also done the same.
I don't know if you can be really happy. You're just tied on 1-1.
Yeah, better than 2-0.
You got to do well in game 3, of course. Of course, you did have a good moment in just the game that just happened. But still, how dominant Kicks would actually were in game 1. Of course, with that many Mega Knights, Wall Breaker's not really going to have that power anymore. With that many logs, there are lots of counter tools against the Wall Breakers, but the miners were at least connecting throughout game 1 and 2. So those prediction has to be a little better for both sides.
Exactly. The miner, because the Tornado Man, because we're just seeing miner Wall Breakers just as a general deck that we see, even though we didn't see it in game number 2. Both games, miner, poison, and a lot of spell damage going through, actually doing the job. Everything else, just meeting at the bridge, trying to kill each other, and that's it.
Yeah, maybe less bridge spam because in terms of teamwork, Sandbox, their duo has been playing for such a long time. It's game 3, the deciding factor for set number 1 of match 1. Kicks at the bottom in blue, Sandbox Gaming on top in red. The same miner Wall Breaker again.
We're back at it.
Yeah, one shot from the Baby Dragon and the log. So a lot more spent, but that becomes your wave.
You see Kicks actually, I think they're just going back to game number 1's deck. You see the Giant Skeleton, it's going to be the same. They're going to do the split pushes. They're going to constantly pressure. And I always talk about this, you know, you got to pressure your opponent. You got to force them to defend. You got to force them to put down units that they didn't want to put down. They were saving for a, you know, a build-up. But Kicks, it feels like they're going to just constantly pressure Sandbox like they did in game number 1.
One of the Wall Breaker went into the top right. Sandbox was thinking of just pulling the miner and then limiting the damage. Comes the lava, their favorite through the season. And ready with that Inferno though. Gotta use that lightning or Zac.
Alright, well, as you say it, the lightning has been used. The Baby Dragon crosses full HP. A secondary one comes. So this is gonna be a big push because they're so tanky and they do splash damage here.
Okay. Fireball did not catch all the pumps, but that was good enough, only taking about 300 damage from that gigantic push, which also really low, so no defense required.
Guard's not so bad. Perfect defense. They just wanted to kind of trade to see what they're going to put down. They always want to get the elixir value out of the very cheap, two-costing wall breakers.
Yeah, without the E-Wiz, it was going to be connecting at least one. Mega Minion pretty slow on the attack. So a lot used again, Sandbox. But if it's not really prepared, big attack, it is not really going to connect the damage to the tower. So that's going to be somewhat wasted elixirs.
So the Fishermen still staying in there for Sandbox here just to deal with and pull some of the ground units to the opposite side here. A big push coming through. Lightning is always going to go in here, coming in from Sandbox.
Yeah, early poison to remove all the units and the pups together after that Inferno Tower. But still Sandbox, they have been doing a whole lot of poison, so that's at least okay for them actually.
All right, well, Giant Skeleton doing his job. But the damage that KOTH has been putting in the early games have kind of stopped. Right now, the tides have turned a little bit towards Sandbox where they're starting to put in the chip damage. So right now, it's still up in the air. There's only 10 seconds until we go into that sudden death.
It is still overtime very soon. Sandbox prepping the big wave again with that lightning. Saddle's holding in that many elixirs. You know what's coming.
There we go. The lightning has come down. Inferno Tower actually on the side of KOTH is actually doing a great job, but the big push is just constantly pressuring KOTH here. This is not the way they wanted to play this game.
And overall more damage. Okay, Fisherman does connect a lot more damage onto the bottom left, so Sandbox has a secondary option to go to the left side if they choose to do so after the defense. But what's tough is that wall breakers. Can you have a perfect defense that quickly? Okay.
Pressure. Pressure is coming. No wall breakers coming through. The bomb tower has been put down, so it's not going to be a big deal. But the miner chip, I'm telling you, this miner is just MVP today in this 2v2.
Yeah, even chipping in a whole lot of damage with the log every single time. Poison. And puts it not behind the Princess Tower here. So good mind games coming out from KOTH.
All right, nice Fisherman to pull out the miner. They know Sandbox. They knew they're going to constantly just send the miner here, so it'll be a great defense here.
Yeah, but defensive poison actually did a whole lot. Even the pups connecting somewhat, removing the Dark Goblin, so that was totally worth from Sandbox. Getting a lot of elixirs, but we're going down to the numbers. Lower, just about 500 here for the top right.
That was pretty close. They predicted it right, so the miner didn't do any chip damage. The Mega Knight comes down, but that miner on the top right is it going to allow KOTH to get into that spell damage range?
Yeah, log and another poison or a fireball is going to finish the game for KOTH. So Sandbox final push, every spell.
Fireball.
Down they go.
There we go. The fireball has been thrown.
Just a little faster compared to all those air units. Pedro MJP is going to take that first set for KOTH. What a game. Their teamwork looks super solid. The reason why they came out for the playoff, even though they're not really the most common duo, because they're good. They're great. They can do it on stage.
Perfect. They brought the wall breakers, dominated game number 1. They changed back to the old school Mega Knight Ram Rider in game number 2. Didn't do so well. Game number 3, they go back to it. You know, stick with the things that you want. The decks, what you're comfortable with, what you've practiced the most, what you're used to, and they do it. They beat Sandbox in set number 1, but we're going to be moving on to the 1v1s.
Yes, soon enough. Kanye said they tried their favorite, the old school Lava Hound push. There's no Tornado, okay, there's no Freeze, but we can still kind of make the push. There are a lot of following units. We've done this more than enough times during the season. Didn't quite work out. You got to move on when there's a new patch. You have to adapt to the newest, the best, the strongest cards of combination in 2v2. And I think they missed that opportunity just a little bit here from Connie Sado duo. And Pedro, JP, the opposite side, they adapted to the newest and the best of what they think during the practice has certainly worked in set 1.
Definitely has worked out. You guys are seeing the highlights, but in game number 3, unlike game number 1, because Sato and Connie play their quote-unquote favorite decks for that 2v2, they still put up a fight. They were throwing counter punches. They were pressuring KOTH. It was so close until the end. Just that one fireball, one spell damage. It was just a speed run. Who's a little bit faster?
Yeah, game 3,
This is it.
Sandbox took some time to find the way to go against the miner, the double miner. One with the guards, one with sometimes Dark Prince or the Mega Minion Just, or like a fisherman pulling off to it. But it actually took a long time to find that cycle for their own push and those separate 2 cards. So Kicks, within that time, they were able to put out a lot more damage. And with that spell, JP's gonna scream his lungs.
Definitely. Close game, but now we're moving on. And because Pedro played that 2v2, we're going to see Legend come out for that 1v1.
Yeah, Legend, who has been pairing up so much with Onion during the season for the 2v2. 20 games of 2v2. It's not like he has never played 1v1, 6 games of 1v1, and actually has a really good win rate, 67%. And also played decently great in the King of the Hill, so the reason why he's coming out. And in terms of all the win rate, if you exclude all that 2v2, he's actually one of the highest in the team.
Not unexpected. It is Legend, and even in the previous season where we kind of hyped him up a lot because of his last year or last year's performance, we expected a lot from him. We'll see if he can bring that to the table today against a very, very strong player, Icelaw.
Played a whole lot of different decks because he has been playing so much. Basically, the only 1v1 set player, 52%. Win rate, 13 games, 12 game losses. The 25 games all included during the season. 55% win rate, that's pretty high. Basically, he's been playing all the meta decks, but not the recent newest. It's gonna be a really tough one. Bring the RG Royal Hogs, Wall Breakers, and Wall Breakers with what? That's the real question.
Well, G-Clef, your question will be answered very soon. We'll see what these 2 players have brought.
Icelaw just last week, same update, played 2 Lava Hound, 1 P.E.K.K.A. Ram, and 2 Wall Breakers with the Valkyrie Miner. So he's gonna cycle this time
To a mortar.
So with the Witch, it seems like he's just brought the easy one out.
Furnace here coming through with the Valkyrie for Legend here. And, you know, I know he didn't bring the Furnace just for the Wall Breakers, even though it is very good against it, just in case. But we also saw Rola Poron bring the Fire Spirits against the Wall Breakers, and that actually seemed to work out very well. So I think Furnace coming in slowly as a building card might work out very well here.
And it comes to the Royal Hogs, along with the motor we as predicted. Okay, they're doing some, but not too much. Legend not really revealing 100%.
Icelaw also going to take his time to kind of see out, because like you said, he knows Legend is not showing a lot of cards here. He's just going to defend. He's going to look for an opportunity, and obviously you do that in 1v1, especially before that double elixir time.
Yeah, with the poison, I believe it's just going to be a lot more common for the graveyard to come out from Legend, which is uncommon for this guy. A lot more RGs to be played from the seasons before. Now let's see what he switches into 100%.
All right, look at how strong the Witch is. So strong, gets rid of the mortar so fast.
Just going to cycle, wait for the perfect time. Maybe you do want that Furnace to be set up before. So in terms of the matchup, Legend is waiting for the Hogs to come. He's got to wait for the Furnace. I mean, he's got to wait for the Hogs to land that Furnace in. But if that mortar's placed offensively, you got to be careful.
Yeah, and I was just about to say, or wanted to say, because Legend used the Valkyrie, Icelaw, I knew he was going to send the Hog, but still was very nicely defended with the Furnace here instead. He still wants the Furnace set up for his push.
Yeah. I think with the last tick, no. Thought it was going to be one more shot from the motor into the tower, but that's still a lot of chip put in. Here comes the Hog again. No real push.
Here he goes.
Legend just not getting the opportunity to put his winning card. on the board for now. Witch doing okay. Ice-Law having a second Witch out there.
Nice poison to get the max value out of it. And I wanted to say, Furnace and even the Valkyrie with that push was just so perfect for Legend, even though he is constantly getting pressured once again by the Royal Hog coming through.
This time a lot better Furnace because double Fire Spirit's connecting to 4 Hogs. But the real problem is that motor, you can't really pressure that hard. Valkyrie moving close to it, at least it didn't splash into the tower.
Definitely, that's A+, but that's not going to be good enough for Legend right now because all he's doing is defending. He's defending against the mortar, he's defending against the Royal Hogs. All the cards that he wants to set up, like the Furnace and the Valkyrie, for his push is being used to defend and not being able to do anything else.
Yeah, the main problem is that he's getting poisoned, but not into the tower. Talking about Legend here, poison for him, he needs to take a lot of units down while doing the damage onto the tower. Here comes finally after 4 minutes into game. And a defensive poison from Ice-Law, that's easy.
Ice-Law is going to shatter Legend's dreams of winning with a graveyard deck by just using a defensive poison.
Okay, now at least switches into the defensive motor position. So you can actually connect another graveyard. This is a big chance for Legend.
Go another defensive poison. This is just a perfect defense. Yes, Ice-Law putting down the defensive motor allowed Legend to use that graveyard, but still, as long as Ice-Law has that defensive poison, it's not going to be too big of a problem.
And the motor does connect perfectly into the Furnace range. You expect that because of your Royal Hogs. So Slaw carefully positioning all the cards. Offensive poison finally coming down from Legend, and it's away from the motor, which can directly hit the tower.
Right, here we go. The motor is going to lock onto a graveyard skeleton, but that's not going to be for so long.
After the Valkyrie, the Furnace. Okay, Legend is putting all the cards down.
All right, here we go. The motor and the Royal Hogs coming through, and an offensive poison this time. So Legend needs to defend this and then try to counter it because he now knows there's no defensive poison. He has to make something work.
Okay, about the same, about a little over 1,000 for both towers. 40 seconds left. And the motor does not directly connect. But the poison from Ice-Law just now was actually one of the most insane ones, hitting the Furnace, tower, and the Witch all together. Again.
Another one. Another one. Legend needs to find a way to defend and counter push, but he isn't finding that hole. He isn't finding the gap, but he's just going to put down that graveyard right away.
Yeah, Vanilla, because the poison from Ice-Law was just used, looking for that chance to get some of his skeletons to connect. 7 seconds, the Witch is coming down.
Poison.
And another poison from Ice-Law over the HP. Tick. Ice-Law is going to take the game.
Boom. That was so close.
By 192 HP difference between the two towers because Ice-Law was constantly pushing. But Legend, it wasn't like a one-sided game where it was like 1,000 difference between the tower. This was great.
It was great because when you see this game from beginning to end, until 4 minutes into the game, Legend, he was figuring out the cycle of Ice-Law. He didn't use his graveyard. He was defending against the Royal Hogs and the mortar constantly with the Furnace and the Valkyrie. Legend doing a pretty good job. Not perfect, obviously, taking chip damage, but he was figuring things out. It was very close, even though Legend lost by 192 or 193 at the end. It just shows that Legend isn't just a player where he brings a deck and he just plays it the way he wants to or forces it. He is studying the opponent even during the games, and that's what's amazing, and that's what made this game very interesting.
Yes, in order to win, you gotta change the cycle for yourself from time to time, or else you just find no winning condition. Yes, plays didn't really play graveyard at all.
Yeah.
During the season, and suddenly he's just bringing this one out, and not even with the most common set of cards with the graveyard nowadays.
And the fact that he was this close against such a great player, Ice-Law, it just shows that I think game number 2, Legend could definitely come back.
Yeah, because there are certainly decks with the Furnace from time to time, with even Barbarians, which was used by Roll Up Around last week. But yeah, Legend's got his own kick. It was the Valkyrie and his own Graveyard Poison instead of the Musketeer. Focused a little bit more against the wall breakers, as it's a lot more common to do so. As Ice still having an outstanding cycle. Let's see what game 2 looks like.
All right. So Kicks had to use a timeout for set number 1, so they got that win here for set number 1. So no timeout, even though Legend has lost his first game. In set number 2, we'll see if, even without a timeout, Legend can come back, kind of figure things out on his own without the players and the support of his coach.
Yeah, with just skeletons. So you have to see in wall breakers. Yeah, you gotta know when to split it up exactly.
All right. Nice. So we're gonna see the common Valkyrie Wallbreaker pairing up with the Miner, possibly coming out. There we go.
Yeah, it's always with the Miner.
Yeah.
It's always.
There's one deck where it wasn't the Miner, but still had the Wallbreakers. But yeah, like 99.
Unless it's like a real bait with Goblin Barrel or like a Royal Recruit, it's always with the Miner, so you gotta be ready. So no shot fired from the Hunter, so Legend was going to be okay until that Valkyrie spin.
Ooh, all right. So Icelaw, I know he didn't want to use the Fireball for the Wallbreakers, but he had to.
Yeah, with the 3 Musk. You had the adaptation by Legend here, going all the way back. Giant Skeleton.
Okay.
And going all the way out.
Do the split. So when you have the 3 Musk with the Wallbreaker combination, you can always do a split. That's very great. With the Miner and also the Bat split going through, it's not huge, but just the fact that you're able to split so many units at the same time if you want is going to cause problems for your opponent.
Yep, and the Skeletons against the Hunter by himself just to the tower. It's not going to be too much. Yeah, Legend once again trying to split. No Miner following up. I think Legend is trying to just change his cycle and pair up with the 3 Musk instead.
Okay. He's able to put down the 3 Musk once again, but this time around it might be a little bit of a different situation here. Legend sending the Miner this time to the right side. So he wants to just always have both sides open so he can, switch off left and right, left and right. That's why he's doing the split pushes early on.
Yeah, but even with that, yeah, Fireball had to be used, but the Miners will just be coming out. So Wallbreakers right now actually being like, you gotta use a spell against me unless you do it. Unless you do that, it's gonna be hard. So Fireball was just used. It's a safe placement of the 3 Musketeers.
Perfect. Both have the Hunter. Hunters are actually doing a great job defending against the Giant Skeleton.
Yeah, after Giant Skeleton falls, the death damage is gonna take all of them out. So Icelaw, does he want to have a big push with the RG? He does.
Right, double Hunter in the back to support that RG. Legends Hunter not right in front, but that giant snowball is going to push him. It's going to allow him to get rid of that RG a little bit quicker. But if you look at the tower damage, Legend right now, the pressure, the splits is just causing Icelaw small chip damages, which are going to add up.
Okay, first tower down. So it is the overtime. Hunter did get a bullet out onto the bottom left. Now here comes the big push. Hunter shooting. Skeletons, not too long.
Oh, it's going to be a big push. That tiny Miner at the top left is not going to be good enough, but if those Wallbreakers, but the minions will get there in time. Ooh, one connects.
Yeah, one does connect. Minions were actually not just directly towards it, it was for the Miner. So it took a longer to hit, but the RG can be faster in a way.
Go. No shots coming through.
And they got predict perfectly against the Miner, does connect
No
to the tower
prediction.
top. And with the log, I think that just does it for Legend. Comes back strong. 1-1 tight score once again between the two teams.
Oh my goodness, today we're getting some great games, and I was thinking at the end where Legend put down all the units like the Hunter, the Bat, and the Valkyrie to go up against that RG. If, just by chance, if Icelaw was able to throw a Fireball at it at that place where all Legend's units were clustered, I think RG could have gotten maybe one shot off. maybe even 2.
Yeah,
And-
maybe 1, but
Yeah.
unless it was for certain 2,
Uh-huh.
which I don't think was possible, even if that fireball came down on Hunter and the bats, because RG was already too much damage.
Yeah.
I think Legend was going to win regardless, unless that fireball just came down much earlier, and at that time, Iceland just did not have enough elixirs. So I think that was going to be a win for Legend regardless.
Yeah, right this moment. That
Yeah, see,
fireball-
RG was too low already.
Correct.
Yeah, with the fireballs, and Iceland was holding on to 6 elixirs, so if he predicted that perfectly, maybe, yes, maybe.
Just maybe. It's just, you know, the reason I'm saying, like, you know, this could have happened is because all the games today are so close. We're getting close games. We're not getting one-sided game other than game 1 of set 1. Everything else has been just going back and forth. We've been already at TKO where we, you know, finished all full 6 minutes. So last time out being called by Sandbox.
So can be your final game. Kicks actually on a match point because they took that 1v1 from XPedro15 and IMJP. And then, of course, it is the meta. You bring the solid few. Wallbreakers minor, either the Valkyrie or the Mega Knight, and then the rest. Choose your few cards and make your own adventure. Along with the spells too. Sometimes it's that poison, snowball poison, log poison. So those actually all customized decks with the wall breakers most likely.
Yep.
So depending on those few cards, you're going to be facing a death or a win.
A death or a win. Yep. And this is going to be literally a death because if you lose here for Sandbox, they're going to go to the losers bracket. They're not eliminated, but they're going to have much more games, many more games for them to try to get close to making it into the finals. So we'll see what kind of deck changes that both Legend and Isla have made.
Game
And it's
3.
time. Possibly the match point game for Kicks. Or Isla bringing us to King of the Hills.
All right. The momentum shift has changed. Isla won game number 1. Legend comes back. Goblin Barrel here right off the bat.
Okay, and only the Dark Prince. So maybe just did not have his perfect spell in his hand.
Okay, so this what Isla brought, it's still possible for it to still have that wall breaker. We're talking about that one deck where no miner is with the wall breaker. So it's still possible. With the Princess, Dark Goblin, and the wall breakers for Isla.
Yeah, if he has the Mega Knight,
Yep.
yes,
There we go.
for sure, and that's a spell. That's a spell bait for Isla without an actual spell. Yeah, Dark Goblin, Bats Goblin Cage.
Perfect. We'll see if this deck might work.
So log was used already. The Legend kind of stuck here.
Spellbait actually working out very well. So many stabs coming in from that Goblin Barrel.
Yeah, Giant with the Witch. Sometimes it is the double Witch.
Uh-huh.
Depends on Legend what he actually wants to do. Yeah, with the Fisherman, there has been one with the Dark Prince Hunter or the Night Witch with the Hunter. This time it's the regular Witch, not the Night Witch.
Here we go. Let's see if Legend has brought the Night Witch or the Hunter.
Or if you go all the way, Sparky. But we don't really see that too many
Sparky
times.
Giant,
Yes.
okay. Ooh, nice pull for that Mega Knight. So,
But still the Brawler
yeah.
very, very strong in terms of single target damage.
all right, this time Legend obviously is going to have the lock. He didn't use it.
Sometimes you think you're okay with the log and you throw it down just a little too late. The Goblins will actually get a really quick stab before they go down.
Ninja style.
There's a minor. Okay, with the log, and Legend didn't use it until now.
He actually kept the miner, excuse me, for a very long time here. Could have started to do chip damages early on, but he decided not to. But right now, Isla just bringing in the Mega Knight, just being so huge. Doesn't matter if the Fisherman pulls him in, it's not going to make a difference. The Giant goes down a lot faster in terms of the defending units that Isla has. So, you know, you see Legend not doing so great, especially with that Goblin Cage for defending as well.
Along with the poison, he wants to have one big push and some minor connecting to it. Certainly taking care of the Dark. Okay, this time the Giant does connect.
Yep.
But very small damage though. And then the E-Wiz, what Legend is trying to be careful right now is, okay, I have to delete a lot of small units and I only have a poison. So I gotta use that really carefully. Unless I use it really carefully, I'm gonna lose a princess or I'm gonna lose a tower.
All right, there we go. Goblin Barrel with the logs.
See, this is what happens if you throw it down just a little too late. And the wall.
Okay, finally.
You knew that this was coming down.
See Legend swapping lanes. He has done a lot more damage onto the left with the poison every time.
So without the log. And then log later for the wall breakers and the E-Wiz. It's going to be okay, but still the Goblins were doing damage. A big push is happening onto the top left with Ready with the cage. And the follow-up.
Oh, this is actually a big push here, but the Brawler actually is going to get rid of it super fast, but Giant still getting a couple punches with the poison there. Only 1 minute and 40 seconds. Icelaw needs to make a push work.
Icelaw just got off guard onto the left side, so Goblins better be connecting a lot more. Has almost had one left, but with just one log, it is going to be hard against these kind of big pushes, except for the E-Wiz.
Wall breakers, two, both of them connect.
But on the top left, 82, so they're out of time. Princess, second shot!
Oh my
goodness! Icelaw does win! Just before the next miner coming out or any other type of spell coming down from Legend.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, that ceremony is kind of cool, but that was a close game, Icelaw.
Goodness. That was close, but Icelaw getting that win. Bring Sandbox to set number 3, King of the Hill. And he's been doing this so many times throughout the season. Kind of allowing and pulling their weight all the way to King of the Hill by winning that 1v1.
That's true. But take a look at Kick's data. They only went down once in the King of the Hill when they went to King of the Hill. Once during the season. And other King of the Hill, which was only twice because they had so many 2-0s, they have been winning the entire season, basically. That's the reason why they're #1 for Group A. Well, Legend having a tough matchup with the Graveyard here. They're starting off game 1, which is not too perfect, but still had really good. Later comeback was just not enough, just a little shy of winning.
Yeah, this game number 2 was actually very close as well. They're just going back and forth. Icelaw brought that, Giant Skeleton, RG, the classic deck. Didn't work out so well, where Legend was able to constantly pressure and pressure and pressure.
In game 3, Legend at least had a log.
Yep.
But when you're up against Princess Goblin Gang, Dart Goblin, and the Goblin Barrel.
And Walber.
Yes.
One log is definitely not going to be enough.
Sometimes you miss a Princess, sometimes you miss like a Dark Goblin, and they all eventually get to the bridge and do damage to the tower.
Like right now at this point, like he already used a log for the Goblin Barrel. This log, if he had a log, yeah, he had to use. But if he had a log, oh, the trade would have been crazy.
Yeah, Icelaw put that much down because the log was just used. One more damage. One single damage source was needed from Legend to finish that game. Icelaw just a little faster with eventually the Princess actually connecting.
All right. Well, we're gonna see Onion come back. We said that he has paired up with Legend for the 2v2 for the most part. But because we saw MJP and Pedro come out for the 2v2, we're gonna see Onion at King of the Hill for the first man up.
I sound a little biased for Kicks, but because of their result from the season, it's just super solid. I just gotta keep them up, and we've mentioned this so many times during the season. Their King of the Hill lineup is just outrageous. 1v1. Even though Onion did not play any 1v1 during the season, did play a few games in the King of the Hill. 1 win, 1 win loss, so that's not too bad. And still have IMJP, X-Pedro. Really strong 2 players, but similar story for Sandbox, but in another way, Icelaw still there. Sado Greed, who did not play any 1v1, but they had to go through lots of King of the Hill.
Yep, Sandbox, the 4th place team, had a hard time, but they made their way through by winning King of the Hills. So we'll see if Sandbox's kind of unexpected practices during the regular season in the King of the Hills by playing so many of them will be able to, you know, maybe even give them a victory against the 1st place team.
Which seems possible, but a little harder in terms of chances. Sado only highlighted 2v2 for Sado because I did not believe that we were going to see him for 1v1. I did play a few ram cycles, P.E.K.K.A ram cycles, lots of miners, and even having one of the rockets to actually have a small bait to finish off the game like that. So a few different decks out of meta, and that was before week 8. So right now we're on a different stage. Let's see what they bring.
Okay.
Yeah, saw the very limited data of the season for 1v1.
Same goes for Onion. Only 2 King of the Hills played. And that Furnace, like I said before, great card, building card against the Wall Breakers.
And the Giant Skeleton from Sado. Is this the RG Tybet that we have just seen a couple games ago? Or along with a Graveyard?
See, either the Graveyard, there we go, the Graveyard is put down.
And it's the freeze! That was an early one, the Witch does not directly connect. Log?
Oh, but still, so many good spawns from the Skeletons will do roughly 800 damage to Onion's tower.
Oh, and then it takes out the Witch. What a trade for Sado. That's insane amount of trade. Okay, Witch onto the other side. So at least the Miner is going to do okay damage. So great response from Sado. It was quick snap action.
So Onion bringing in that Mega Knight Wall Breaker. He doesn't need to keep the Mega Knight for any Wall Breakers coming from Sado, so you can use that now freely if he wants to do that area spawn damage. So far, Sado has the advantage, obviously, but I still think Onion is possible, and it's possible for him to turn it around as long as he's able to defend that freeze Graveyard well by placing all the units separately.
Yeah, Sado, this is a deck basically customized to go against the deck Onion has. He has a Bar Barrel, that's going to be the real problem. Limiting all the Skeletons from the Witch, or like the Wall Breakers when Sado already has a Furnace. A great set of cards prepared by Sado. Onion's got to keep up with the push.
Right. You can see Sado, he's kind of in a comfort zone here, doing split pushes as he wishes. Skeleton's gonna do a lot more damage. No spells or no bar barrels needed to be used by Sado.
He's just holding on to it because when it comes to desperate time where the Wall Breakers are suddenly going to hit, just have the bar barrel ready for you. That's all he needs. Onion needs to find better timing with the Mega Knight push, but against the Giant Skeleton, that's what's been making it really hard for him.
All right, the Graveyard once again, and the freeze locking onto that E-Wiz at the same time.
Yeah, Onion was ready with that Mega Knight.
The Witch locks on.
That's 2.
Oh my goodness.
That's a lot of damage already coming down just from the Witch and the Skeletons too, before the Mega Knight.
Nice tornado to buy time, and even the bar barrel, which was basically unnecessary there.
Yeah, just threw that down to actually connect all the way.
Yeah.
Sado was just a little concerned right there. He had enough elixirs anyhow. He was going to be leaking. Just without it, just telling Onion, okay, I have a bar barrel too. What you gonna do?
All right, a staggered witch from Sado is going to actually get a lot more value, but the log is going to help out.
Okay, log already used to eliminate the witch. Okay, an early use, but okay, let's see. Onion wants to better make something happen here, but only a miner. So Sado's saying, okay, miner can do everything, but everything else, nothing else comes directly into the tower.
All right, here we go with the freeze. The bat.
Skeletons to connect. Okay, only 2, but now to 271. Okay, Tornado doesn't do damage. Freeze does do just a little bit of damage, but not too much.
Yeah, not onto the Princess Tower, but you gotta say, Onion staggered the bat. He only lost 1 bat to that freeze, so he was able to defend it well. And now Sado can expect that. The staggered bats.
He was dropped very early. 1 more damage from the skeleton, and Sado is going to take it. Had basically prepared for the counter of what was about to come against it. So great set of cards. If you bring that kind of counter against the wall breakers, you just have to win. Yep. I mean, there are different customizations from coming down from all kinds of players, not just from Asia, from different regions too. But what Onion had to go up against Sado just now was quite terrifying.
Definitely was. We actually, even from Sado, not only the graveyard to counter push and to kind of pressure, but the giant skeleton also, sometimes from time to time landing so well, getting rid of the witch and doing so much damage to the Mega Knight, getting its max value. Also, just buying time and tanking the Princess Tower for the graveyard's max value here.
Freeze. I actually think it is the first time that we see freeze in 1v1 in Asia. Very common in China.
Yep.
And in the middle ground in West, not as much as China though. But Asia, we were reluctant to actually seeing the freeze in 1v1, always being used in 2v2. Was wondering when that time was going to be, and Sado finally using it along with the graveyard and made it work against a lot of his defense. Like Iwu is always trapped into it, so at least few of those skeletons are connecting.
Exactly. Now we're moving on to IMJP, another player who is great. Look at his record. Because Pedro was, kind of designated 1v1 player for a pretty long time for Kicks throughout the regular season, we saw IMJP come out mostly for King of the Hills early season, and he's done such a great job. Now he's back. We'll see if he's able to take down Sado to move on to Greed.
Yeah, he's King of the Hill record, as you can see, 75%. And overall, including 2v2, 63% win rate, which is really high. Mostly coming out from 1v1. Lots of minor lava. I think he's really talented at those cycles. And a few of those poison, along with the ram. So certainly has a lot of cycle, has potential of that cycle. And when cycle actually works for you, you're ready for that wall breaker cycle already when you have that much practice in your hands. And JP certainly a great player. Can he break through all the new? We haven't seen decks from Sado once again. We'll have to see. It is game 2 between Kicks and Sandbox Gaming.
All right. King of the Hill, we're going to get at least 2 more matches here. Hogs, right off the bat. Not going to waste any time.
So Motor, JP might have brought the same.
Yeah.
Ready with the bomb tower though.
All right. Well, as you call it, JP, a very similar deck, mini P.E.K.K.A. and even a bomb tower.
What? Okay, I'm not even going to look up what Sado has. It is not going to be on my paper for get ready for casting day.
Yeah.
2 shots onto the Valkyrie. That's still great. Excellent work by mini P.E.K.K.A.
Yeah, the 4 elixir unit, that card is just going to do so much. And, I also want to talk about G-Clef's quote-unquote prep for the casting casting sheet. If it doesn't have the deck, that's a problem. Because he has hundreds of decks right in front of him.
Yeah, I brought all 82 from last week.
Yeah.
Because everything else just doesn't really matter too much because of the different patch. Flying machines, so certainly Sado's brought similar type of the fireball bait. But the bomb tower actually really a required card, I would actually say right now.
especially in this current meta, of course. And
Yeah.
it also, even though there's no wall breakers, going up against IMJP, I think Sato in
Yeah.
his head, oh, I'm lucky. Royal Hogs, perfect.
Yeah, right now against Royal Hogs, against Wall Breakers, against Royal Giant, 3
Yeah.
that you actually really need to think about. Yeah, Mount Tower is not a bad idea when we have so many, because we have so many counter tools against lava, we don't really see that anymore too many times.
And here we go. The mini Becca goes down. Minion Horde.
Yeah, another fireball bait, but it's going to be okay with and heal spell.
Whoa!
A little too late from Sato. I don't think he wanted to drop that early. Okay, he's gone. That did not pair up with anything. It doesn't heal your tower. It doesn't heal the tower. At least
Well-
from my knowledge.
Well, my
Unless
wish has
there was
come
a
true.
a secret submarine patch.
Well, now we saw heals in 1v1. We've almost seen it all. Almost.
Yeah, Minion
There we
Horde
go.
dropped right on top, but which is
Heals.
going to one-shot it anyhow. Yeah, which one-shots it anyhow.
It's not the old witch.
Yeah, but it's also good for cycling your card. Yeah, just against the mortar. Bar barrel coming and the bomb tower is okay on the top.
Nice heal. This heal was great.
Exactly what you want. The barbs on it. Flying machines on the tower. JP cannot defend this perfectly. I mean, it's not gone already. 434.
Yeah. JP feeling lucky that the flying machine connected to the Valk instead of the Princess
It was
Tower.
zapped, so it actually changed targets right after. There's a poison now. And this one?
Oh,
Ooh, no. Not at all. Just a poison.
yeah. Nice heal. Just to keep the Royal Hogs alive because
Okay,
now Sato
yeah.
knows chip damage.
Yeah, motor actually connected to the tower, so the good news for JP because the Hogs were right next to it. A few more scratches, and then the flying machine onto Valk.
All right, Bomb Tower is going to do its job. Flying machine crossed the bridge, so he's going to take the damage from that.
Okay, it's not over. JP can still have a motor shot, and a few more Royal Hog along with the poison can do it.
Here we go. Oh, this time
Zap,
the heal!
but heal is healing everything. What a game that we're seeing
my
in
goodness.
the playoffs.
And a zap!
And JP just respects it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a game where you just gotta clap to your opponent and says, okay, you've done your work within a week. I don't know what you ate, but you win, okay?
Oh my goodness. Maybe he didn't eat anything, and we see he'll come out right at the end. And I was like in my head, okay, I understand why G-Clef doesn't have this on the sheet. But that was a great game coming from Sato. 2-0 in King of the Hill right now. Sandbox Gaming.
Okay, let's just watch the highlights because this guy bringing something unique every single game.
Well, heal meta.
With the Royal Hall, I think it's actually really great, but we don't really expect that to come out in pro play or even in ladder. I think I played enough ladder and challenges. I don't see heal spell anywhere.
Never. Lower or high tiers.
Not even in draft. It doesn't even come out in draft, where I'm forced to pick one.
That is true.
Yes.
I never thought about that. No heals in draft. It's like, even if it does come out, I will give it to the opponent.
Maybe I'll keep it after watching this game.
Correct?
Well, Pedro, the final... I can't believe that I'm saying this. Final member already from Kicks. If he loses against Sato or Greed or Ice Law from Sandbox, they will lose their first match of the playoff and go to the loser's bracket.
Yeah. And being the first place team, never, ever expected Kicks to have such a hard time. But this is what I like. I said this at the beginning of the cast. A fourth place team giving the first place team a hard time or even beating them. And right now, Sato is one game away from beating Group A's #1 team here.
Sato brought 2 ultimate Kamehamehas against Kicks. Does he have enough energy for a third different
Needs a
deck?
Spirit Bomb now.
Maybe just go back to game 1, but Spirit Bomb takes a long time, man. takes a long time, needs energy from the
True.
entire planet.
True.
Okay?
I'm sorry. I take that back. I take that back.
But Pedro's got a spirit bomb inside of him.
He's been charging. He's the third player.
Yes. And used a whole lot. Yeah, actually used a lot of Giant Skeleton, Sparky, and also Balloon. Ready for the game, Pedro. 15 versus Sado. And Wall Breaker's on top. Yeah, ready with Zap. When you go into the game, just tap, Wall Breaker.
Right, well, you can see Sado. Sado going back to the wall breaker. He's going back and forth. I love this guy. My favorite emote.
I hope everyone is tied to Supercell ID and has that ready, but the Pierce.
Ooh, the
It's gonna-
E-Wiz.
Yeah, good drop by Sado. Instant reaction.
It still gets one. But still, yeah, still a lovely timing, lovely reaction from Sado.
And this mini stun is not enough to keep the spin away from the tower, but still okay. Taking one hit at a time. Just zap coming through.
All right, the wall breaker split. Not gonna get through, but just a cycle. Having the Royal Ghost is such a nuisance.
I think it's okay from Sado because he's got a Valkyrie, so it's okay. And the Royal Ghost can be painful, but when you got that many tools and an Inferno Tower onto this bad boy.
Okay. Once again, the E-Wiz for that Magic Archer. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, with the long, you can have so much of a pair. Yeah, perfect with the splash. Come down from the Ghost, so easy for Pedro.
Okay.
Okay, Pedro's fine. Okay, you're gonna use that defensively. I can just keep my defending card. And also looking for that chance. Here comes the B-Ram.
Nice. It's gonna be more than good enough to defend against that. Offensive poison to do some damage, because now both these players, they know the early, the water testing has been finished. We're in double elixir time. They have to start doing damage, whether it be minor chip, poison chip, or anything, any chip.
Okay, Pedro starting a little bit faster of a cycle onto the right, and actually, I think actually did get a few shots onto the tower with the Magic Archer.
Oh, here we go. A huge push on the
Minor
bottom
bats.
right. But that zap is not going to
Wall
be good
breakers.
enough.
That's tower gone.
Oh my goodness. Sado.
He used the big wave of push that he was using to defend against the Battle Ram. And when you only have a zap to go against the bats, the miner's gonna connect or all of them together.
Yeah.
Sado!
This guy, he's neat. Look at his tower damage, top left.
1 second away from 3-0ing kicks.
Gosh.
3-0!
This
Only
dude.
one single player has done that throughout the season. And Sado,
Oh.
3-0 wipes the King of the Hill squad from kicks and brings the first win in the playoff for Sandbox Gaming, a 4th place against the first. 4th place moving up to the winner's bracket.
And using a heal deck to win one of the games. He has done everything in one day. You can see how disappointed kicks are, but they're still not eliminated like we said. They have a chance. They're a strong team. I believe that they can come back from this. But Sandbox Gaming, gosh. This team. Early game.
What about this team?
Early, yeah, I was like kind of, organizing my thoughts. Early game, early season, it was Icelaw who surprised us by just dominating in 1v1. Now it's Sado. They're just taking turns dominating this Clash Royale League Asia.
Yeah, if they win one more straight up, they might have a good chance. And then 2 more would actually put them into the finals of the season. Okay, they're getting 1 step closer, and kicks takes. They do take 1 step back from the playoff. Next match is going to be another big one. Ponos versus OJ and Entus. Stay tuned. We will be back in 7 minutes.
Let's go.
Welcome back to the playoff. Season number 2 of Clash Royale League Asia. We had Ponos versus OG and Entus. We just hit a crazy match before between Kicks and Sandbox Gaming. Before we head and introduce the team, let's take a look. It's time. Let's see.
All right, Ponos. Dave's done something.
Ojin,
OGN.
not even going to respond.
Whoa.
Whoa, says,
Whoa.
you guys are number 3. We're number 2.
Whoa.
Whoa, so mad. No respect coming out from the opponent.
That is all right. Well, OGN, if you're not gonna show us anything here, show us in the games, because if you lose after doing that, don't know what I'm gonna say.
I mean, OGN is doing nothing at OGN. So, yeah, interesting. Interesting enough, OGN has never ever beat Ponos in Clash Royale League in Asia. Never ever in history. And for this season, because they were not in the same group, they have never faced each other, of course. So if OGN beats Ponos, it will be their first time ever defeating them. But Ponos, yeah, look at those wins. Not too many 2-0s, so maybe that's okay. But I believe that those King of the Hills was just struck by Mikamboya lots of times.
Yeah, not surprising to see Ponos having so many wins, because OGN, other than this season, 2019 season number 2, all the previous seasons, not so great, their performance, but they just came back. So I think they're one of the stronger teams. We'll see how they do. This is the entry. Minor ban. You know, I was thinking, when is that going to happen?
Yeah, it's not the first time, but quite rare when we do see a lot more spell. But what catches my eye is Ten got Mikamboya in 2v2 on an important match, and Red Rocky Jones is a lot more common one with crazy amount of games played last season. But this season, not as much actually, because Mikamboya 10 got, they actually have a better pair with 75% win. 9-3 in terms of 2v2 games.
Yeah, they're 4-1. So, yeah, 5 Gaming's pair, they're 9-1, but still, for Ponos, who has been swapping 2v2s, swapping 1v1s, having a great win rate in a 2v2 like this, for, you know, especially with Mikamboya in it, because he used to be the designated 1v1 player. So we're seeing a lot of the 1v1 players going back and forth, and we've seen that from Kicks as well, Pedro going back. So it's going to be very interesting to see how well this pair will do.
Yes, but they had a big struggle in the middle of the season. As a defending champion of the last season, yeah, this is a place where you have to clutch and win. Yeah, they're 2v2, especially when freeze is available. I think that's when Ponos gets a lot of their power. He's favoring a lot of air units, like not just the lava, a lot more balloon compared to anyone else in the league.
Yep. Look at this though, 7-3. So this pair, they're the only 2v2ers for OG and Entus. So it's a little bit different. Ponos, we have 4 players rotating around for 2v2. OGN, we have Thunder and One Crunch just sticking to that 2v2. So we'll see.
Yeah, Thunder and One Crown, they were the ones, the duo, to actually use the Expo in 2v2. Few Royal Giants, but actually sticking a lot towards the Royal Recruits. And haven't really seen that coming out from Ponos' side for their 2v2.
Game 1.
Let's see if we're actually going to see those recruits or not. Ready for that game 1 between the two teams, Ponos versus OG and Entus.
It's funny that you talk about the
That's my
recruits.
favorite.
Oh, really?
Yes.
With the gold tooth?
Yeah.
Not the chicken?
No.
Alright, well mine's the chicken. But anyways, you talk about the Royal recruits. They actually came into the 2v2 meta for a very short time. They used to come out. We even saw a Royal recruit ban. But the moment that wall breakers started to come, and they just disappeared.
Yeah, a whole lot more Witch.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Thunder 1 Crown holding 68% win rate in terms of 2v2 games only. Let's see what else comes out though. So far, Baby Dragons and Witches for Ponos, but there's no Miner in this game, so gotta worry about some more pair. Possibly a few more charges coming up from Ram Rider. But it is Ponos though, so Balloon does come out.
They're gonna use the balloon even regardless of not having a miner and nice freeze.
Early of a
And
freeze
even a fireball.
connects to the tower, nicely done. There was a lot of defense just dropped for OG and Entus. It was the E-Wiz and the Mega Minion all together.
Ooh. All right, a little bit of a late freeze here coming in from OGN. Not gonna be doing too much, but still, look at the damage. I say not too much, but it's almost the same.
Yeah, less than 200 difference between the two HP. But was that freeze really worth it? I got a question. It was
yeah.
too late, and only 2 more skeletons spawned from the graveyard, so that was okay. Okay time to actually do the damage. Ponos, really quick reflexes from the amount of cards. Ojin was actually dropping onto having the bridge spam right there for the balloon. Let's see that come back again and again. In terms of cycle, it is a little faster for Ponos.
Definitely is. They're gonna just do a counter push because they see the giant skeleton on the other side.
Good E-Wiz.
Nice use, yep.
Have it done this time, both freeze.
This is gonna be the problem when the split push starts coming out. The Magic Archer will get its value by doing that piercing arrow to the multiple units, but the giant skeleton on the right side. That
I think that's
lumberjack.
close enough to the tower. Yes.
Yes. You saw Ponos put down the lumberjack to pull it, but it did not pull it.
Yeah, because it was already too close to the witch and the extra skeleton. Even if it spawned, it was going to be going down for the poison.
Yep.
So great use of the poison from Moji, and they just stopped everything from happening. 351. That hurts a lot, Ponos. They're ready with the freeze.
All right, there we go. The Princess Tower is actually still not frozen up, so it's gonna do the damage.
Did not connect to the tower. That snowball at the end, bringing down that balloon. And Ojin, I believe they have their own freeze this time.
They do. The counter push will come out, but I think the skeleton spawned.
It doesn't even matter.
Oh,
the poison is
poison
enough
and the
damage. Ojin just takes that from the giant skeleton connecting.
Yeah, I think that one giant skeleton connecting was just huge because in the beginning, the balloon connecting from Ponos gave them the edge of being able to kind of comfortably do split pushes, go back and forth from left and right. But once that giant skeleton connected, it just turned around in one big push. I was gonna say small push, but that was a huge push. And OGN, they took advantage of that, spell cycling, just doing the small chip damages, and they knew they were gonna win.
This moment was really cool. Okay, they not just if maybe with just the Mega Minion, maybe no freeze, but even with the E-Wiz, that's a lot of elixirs. Okay, if we freeze it, our balloon goes through, and then we can fireball a lot of those units too.
Yeah, this was the moment. The lumberjack and was a little bit too late. The poison was cleaning up everything in the front, clearing the path.
That lumberjack was way too far away. Even if that was for pulling the giant skeleton, yeah, a little too late. The poison really came. Poison from OG and Entus was actually like the perfect one onto the witch. Letting that giant skeleton getting close enough to it. Yeah, big push like that can happen. It wasn't at least pulled by the fisherman, which we're not really seeing too many times in the 2v2 today. Not as much as last week or the week before.
Nope.
So Graveyard's still working really well.
Definitely is. And I also want to, I pointed this out during the game where Ponos, they did the second freeze with the balloon against that, as the Goblin Cage was going down. But the freeze, it caught the Goblin Cage and it didn't catch the Princess Tower, so it was still shooting it. And you called out that snowball that finalized the deal of the balloon not landing a shot. If that landed the shot and the death damage, I think it would have been Ponos' game because the tower would have gone down. Because they were only 923 or something like that. of the Princess Tower
Yeah,
left?
that was after the death damage. So,
yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah,
so
that is true. That
it was
is true.
going to be
That is
close,
true.
and Ponos, I think they had a few more spells.
Yeah.
So maybe just in time? Oh, I can't exactly tell
Yeah.
because even Ojin, they were spamming spells to bring the tower down as soon as
Correct.
possible. Yeah, that was a close one, and you know, if it's Ponos that you're going against, you just have to be ready against the balloon. And when there's a tornado ban, yes, that's number one thing. That's number one homework you do right after you go home. You think you're gonna do the homework, but you never do. You just turn on your PC or the mobile game. You just start playing Clash Royale all day, and then you don't do your homework. That's my story of my lifetime during high school. Ready for that game too, though. Entus certainly looks really strong. Prepared for what Ponos is about to bring.
Yeah, and you saw the record. They've never been Ponos. And this is the playoffs. So if they're able to beat them, it's such an important matchup, important day. It's gonna be big.
Dark Goblin got one hit.
Yeah.
That's very big. And they do it. All the players do turn in the roster a day before, but only get to find out about your opponent just a few hours before the match. Hog Rider. 2,
3.
Oh.
More than good enough, especially in a 2v2. A Hog Rider getting 3 swings without a freeze.
Get ready with the E-Wiz again from OG and Entus.
On the balloon.
Thinking about the freeze, I'm thinking, okay. It was going to be pulled with the snowball anyhow, so not this time for Ponos.
All right, so OG and Entus, they're not going to allow that early drop like they did in game number 1, kind of putting them on the edge. They're going to play it safer. And they know that they got a lot of value.
Already with that
Oh,
EQ.
nice.
When you have the Hog, buildings are against you, so if you have the EQ, they can be a little bit friendlier.
Go.
The real problem is that OG and Entus, they have the Dark Goblin to eliminate a lot of those skeletons. Also, it's really good against the Witch, too.
Game number 1, they brought the poison to clear the path. This time they brought the Dark Goblin plus the EQ Hog, so it's a little bit different style of play for OG and Entus here.
Great placement of the E-Wiz, just in case of a freeze. So handling what's about to come at your face really well.
Ooh. All right, defensive freeze, nice. They needed to use that, but the EQ squeezes through.
Okay, even with the bomb tower, OG and Entus has an EQ. And the Hog
Gets a swing,
does connect
even
all
the
the
brawler.
time. Yes.
Ooh. OGN.
The moment Hogs came down, it was okay, but Ponos still has the freeze and the balloon, but EQ kind of secures the building. And the defensive freeze from OG this time.
A lot of piercing arrow going through though. If you notice, it was piercing through the giant skeleton. Ponos did a significant amount of damage from that magic archer.
Well,
Still needed more.
is that significant enough? 30 seconds to go. Pulled by the cage. Dark Goblin already locked onto the balloon. Freeze does come, but the balloon goes down immediately after the freeze.
All right, you got to kind of question that.
16 seconds.
That freeze.
Running out of time. Only one freeze.
Yeah. OGN, they're just going to do a perfect defense here. Another defensive freeze by time. Goblin cage. They got this.
OG showed no respect with that earthquake.
No respect in the pre-game ritual. No respect with the EQ. And Ponos at the end. I was saying this. They froze the Goblin cage and the Princess Tower instead of the Dark Goblin, right?
Yes.
And the Goblin cage was already basically gone down with the Lumberjack and the balloon landing. So in my head, I'm like, all right, what if they just froze the Dark Goblin?
I think they just wanted more damage onto the building. Yeah, the Dark Goblin was locked onto it anyhow. Before that, if Cage pulls, that's a lot more time than the damage. That's maybe something you just have to make it to fly. But that's 2-0 for Thunder and One Crown. What a duo. See the teamwork, no spell miss, really crisp timing, good reaction, good deck changes game 1 and 2 against Ponos, who's trying similar things over and over again.
Yeah, and you can tell that OGN, they love the giant skeleton. Like in game 1, if the death damage connects, it's a plus. But even if it doesn't, it just secures that bridge part where the counter push usually happens after defending a push. The giant skeleton death bomb will get rid of all or at least half of the units that's counter pushing.
Yeah, it's not, and it's also not the first time from Thunder on Crown. They've used 2 times A lot more Earthquake though. Hog Rider just 2 times. In terms of Earthquake, 6 times during the season. Actually, most amount of use in 2v2 from all 12 teams for the 2v2 from OGN. And also from last season, the teams who use a lot more Hog Rider cycle 2v2 compared to anyone else. It's something you do have to when you're making preparation, just like when you think about Ponos, okay? Balloon, OJ and Entus, something weird, or Hog Riders.
Something weird.
Something weird, like I'm talking about the recruits.
Yeah. I know what you mean. But it's like, I'm thinking like Ponos, all right, let's prepare for
something
OG.
weird, include one expo in there too.
Include one expo, include the recruits, and now, when someone's prepping for Sandbox, they have to do something weird because of Sada. Maybe heal.
Yes, that too. Rad is up here, I believe, because he has the best win rate in King of the Hill compared to anyone else. 62. Only played 4 games of 1v1, which is half and half, so that's okay. But because they wanted the duo for that 2v2, makes total sense that Rad is up here. Raiki Jones also had great results last season, but not as much in terms of win rates. So I think that's the reason why Ponos is using Rad.
Now, for OGN, we do have TNT back. They've been switching from Dandelion and TNT back and forth. Both of them having not such a bad season throughout overall, but TNT, all in all, compared to Dandelion, where he brings us unique decks, gets the win, TNT is more of the safe side player, so we'll see if he's able to go up against Rad in this new kind of meta. We'll see if he's used to this.
Yeah. What's hard against TNT is that he uses everything.
DAY.1.
Too many different things. Rad ready for TNT. Game 1. And also Rad, using Fused Royal Giant 3 times, lots of Fishermen 6 times, and Graveyard along with those in between, just 3 times.
That's the thing. During the regular season, like even TNT, he used a lot of Furnace Royal Giant, he even used a Minor Mortar, but I think, to be honest, right now in this playoff, it doesn't really matter that much because of the Wall Breaker just sticking in everywhere. So we'll see if both of these players would have just adapted to this new patch here.
I think in terms of cycle,
Uh-huh.
I think
Look at this.
TNT just feels just a little bit better in terms of cheap elixir cycling.
Okay.
Because Rad was playing much more stick to the meta style, having few of those Sparkies in there too,
Fire Spirits.
which is great against the Wall Breakers. We've seen it last week.
Rola Poron showed it to us. Alright. Right now, they're just taking their time, playing it slow.
Okay, with the Fisherman,
Okay.
that's a good adjustment. Either it's the Witch or the Fisherman or Hunter from time to time. Yeah, with the Witch together. And Rad is just thinking Mega Knight at the end. I think they're
Correct.
just really looking for the timing, and both players actually having the
Wow.
Fire Spirits.
Yeah, Fire Spirit. This could also still be, obviously a Mega Knight, but it could still be either a Hunter or, okay, I was going to say Hunter or Infernal Tower, but
Yeah, RG certainly caught TNT by surprise just a little bit, but ready with that Fisherman hook. Good hook, only letting 1 shot.
just 1 shot. Better than 2 to 3 Royal Giant hitting so hard here.
But the Fisherman onto the bottom left, okay. There's a good amount of damage going in already. TNT also ready with that RG straight up.
They basically have the identical deck. Rad probably has a Fireball stored at the end.
Yeah, pulls the Valkyrie good, but Rad
Okay,
pulls it back, but the
okay.
RG does connect. 3 shots and the skeleton, 2 swipes onto the tower, which is great.
Look at the skeletons. Okay, still gets a shot there from TNT. So TNT right now, a lot better of a counter push that he's doing after defending. But now Rad, that RG also getting so much shots into it, but TNT was so healthy that he's just gonna counter push.
Oh, Fire Spirits to pull the Fisherman, so the RG does not get dragged.
Oh my goodness.
3 shots.
Did he get the fourth? I didn't get to see it.
I don't think so, but that's in.
Oh.
That's not in Zap Fireball range,
No.
so TNT's got to put in some more damage. But still,
Oh my goodness!
so many more tools to actually predict. TNT's on another level
Yeah.
compared to Rad. RG, second shot, that's game. Number 1 going for TNT and OG and Entus, so far 3-0, including 2v2. The next level prediction, and just tapped up to some water. It's not even a full gulp, it's just a little bit of water. Just to quench.
Yeah. That fisherman at the end gave me the goosebumps. Like, oh my goodness. Right off the bat, like Rad knew. The moment that he put down his Royal Giant, the fisherman came down, pulled him to the other side. All right, well.
For me, the Fire Spirits before that, not
Oh,
letting his
the fisherman.
RG being
Yes.
pulled. The fisherman from Rad pulled the Fire Spirits instead of the RG, which could have bought at least a shot, or maybe more, for Rad to defend. This moment,
Yeah, this moment. Yeah, this one was great. So many shots going through.
Exactly what you go through with an RG. Yeah, by this far, yeah, TNT has already made his cycle perfectly for his own RG to push.
The reason that I said I got goosebumps at that last moment is because usually you put down the Royal Giant, and then because of what your opponent's gonna put down, you then put down the Fisherman, right? But TNT did the Fisherman Royal Giant because he knew in his head, all right, it's time for him to counter push with the Royal Giant, so I'm gonna just put it down. And the prediction was perfect.
Yeah, I think it wasn't just prediction for RG. As long as his RG goes through, it's okay, right? So whatever's coming next to the RG, like the Witch or whatever, the card was going to be, it would be pulled by the Fisherman if he has that before his own RG. So thinking ahead, just in case of what's about to come, making sure it can connect to the tower. Good game by TNT, just outstanding. I think Rad needs to change his deck just a little bit here. Game 2 time. And a match possible game for OG and Entus, though. 4-0 in the playoff would be devastating situation for Ponos.
Yep, especially Rad, because he was the player that always at the end just comes out and just helps out and carries Ponos when they're in need. And if he gets 2-0 and his match point right now for OG and Entus, they're gonna have a hard time to kind of come back for the losers bracket.
Just wants to keep the Magic Archer alive, ready with the Furnace, but it's piercing into the Furnace.
Oh my goodness, that Furnace didn't do anything.
Comes the Wall Breaker cycle with the Miner.
Tornado,
But the left side,
Rad.
this is where I press that good game emote.
If you're TNT or Rad?
Rad.
Oh, if you're Rad?
But okay, still a lot of time left. There was a lot of damage with the starting hand, but it can be okay.
It can be. But this baby dragon here is not going to do you any good. The Valkyrie connects and the Miner connects. Rad, he's just going to accept the damage that he's taken. Now he has to work towards to try to at least even things out to have a couple more minutes in sudden death. Wall breakers right away. They're most likely going to...
Giant Skeleton is a little too slow, so TNT wanted to force out one more card from Rad.
Bomb tower. Hey, Graveyard Giant Skeleton deck. We've seen this many, many times from Hane x Hane from Valve Gaming.
Unless the final card is something like a freeze, Red is going to be hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, tough. Double lesser time for Red. TNT ready with that poison.
If that Witch survives, he's gonna have to bridge spam that Giant Skeleton. He's gonna have to make something work here.
A good bomb tower, making sure the death damage connects.
Hey, there we go. The death. Okay, that's not close enough.
And Red is scratching his head, saying, "This is impossible with 30 seconds." Oh no, TNT is
Defensive poison.
Keeping up with the damage. Okay, bomb tower this early because he was spilling elixirs.
My goodness, just Rad, he knows it in his head. At least not have the poison, but TNT had the poison.
And Graveyard comes the final chance, but still The bombs are right next to it. TNT's got it is the freeze.
It is.
But never really got a good chance to actually use it. That is the thing. TNT grabs 2 wins in a row. OG and Entus takes the entire match. Ponos, without a single win, does go down in the first match of the playoff.
To OGN, this is the best revenge match that they can ask for. They lost 4 times that they, met Ponos.
Over the 2 years.
Yeah. And in one game, they literally don't lose a single game. They 4-0 them in the playoffs, not even in the regular season. Oh my goodness. OGN, this team, no roster changes, no nothing. They it just proves that they're just getting so much practice in.
TNT, who has 83% win rate, King of the Hill, which is crazy high. Crazy high for single games like that. Again, a win against Rat today. Is going to put his numbers even higher than that. Ponos, this is a big defeat for them. Of course, they have one more chance as the losers bracket. But guess what we have after the 2 matches? We're going to have the winners coming up right after and let them clash once again. The matchup you've been waiting for again here. Who would have imagined?
Yeah.
Korea versus Korea in the winners bracket. Sandbox Gaming versus OG and Entus coming up next.
그냥 기분 좋네요. 솔직하게 그냥 좋아요. TNT 대 엑스보 마스터 이렇게 광고를 많이 하는데 요즘 저 라인에 정민이가 괜히 했다가 지면은 그럴 거면 차라리 잃을 거 없는 내가 나가서 이기면 좋은 거고 그래서 제가 나가게 됐습니다. 아, 덱은 미리 준비했었어요.
사기예요. 써보세요.
아, 벌써.
라바 나오면 어떡하나 했어. 근데 라바 나와도 상관없긴 하겠어.
라바에도 자신감은 있었어. 근데 라바 쓰는 걸 잘 못 봐서 숙련도가 그렇게 높진 않을 거라고 생각해서
이때까지는 뭐
그냥 망했다 싶었지 나는.
이때
파벌이 없어가지고 급하게 그냥 굴려버리고 찾아서 쐈어. 근데 여기서 확실히 좀 특징이, 상대의 특징이 나오죠. 슈퍼플레이 많이 노리는 거.
좀 넘었어.
조금 당황했어. 상대의 패가 배틀램이 있었으면 내가 미니 페카를 먼저 보여줘서 페이크가 좀 늦었을 텐데
나 여기서 그냥 미니 페카 꺼낼 줄 알았는데 그냥 아니더라고. 잘 막았어.
최대한 숨기려고 했어. 근데 이제는
내전 또
초반
들어가.
패가 안 좋아가지고 여기서 딸리고 시작하니까 상대도 아니까 그냥 앞에가 질러버리죠. 이거는
밀렸어.
아니 밀릴 거를 알고 있어가지고 그냥 맞고 먹어야겠다.
그냥 깜짝 놀란 것 같진 않더라.
응.
이건 선 넘었어. 냈으면 안 돼.
해골이 좀 오바해. 저는 쫄려서 내만하지 않았어.
근데 여기서 그냥 다 했어. 콩나물을 너무 잘 굴려가지고.
그냥 페카 꺼내는 순간 야이 죽어라 이러고 하려고 했는데 나름 헬스맨 이런 식으로 준비하려 했는데 절대 각을 안 줘.
팝을 너무 잘. 근데 이게 한두 번, 아니, 한 번만 있었던 게 아니고 계속.
아니 저거는 상대가 실수한 거지. 맞추기 쉬워 그건 저거. 아마 상대도 진짜 답답했을 거예요 레전드 이거는.
당연하지. 여기서 로자 깔았나? 아니네. 그냥 겁나 아끼네.
안 깔았나? 그냥 몰라 기억도 안 나 지금.
이거.
그냥 하고 싶을 때 한 거야 하고 싶을 때. 이건 이득 봤으니까 들어간 거고.
니 대가. 땅.
어차피 페카는 엘릭서가 저기 뒤에 후속 유닛이 붙일게 해봤자 1번. 그리고 저기 신경 써야 되거든요. 미니 페카. 저기 개 짜증난다 이거 저기 진짜.
이거.
이거
슬펐어.
내가 이거 앙 해주고 이때부터 복제해도 그러면 나는 로자를 가지요. 여보세요.
20초 남기고 로자 쓴 거 잘했어.
나가세요. 어차피 득질 못하게 하려고 하는 것도 있고 내가 추가들 넣어야 되는 것도 있고.
한 장 더 때렸으면 끝난 건데.
에휴 이기면 됐어 이거.
그렇긴 한데. 깔끔했지?
아니 이거 잘했네.
잘했네.
누가 했는지 진짜. 오늘 1등 공신이요? 내전탑이요. 과거 내전탑을 깔면은 내는 유닛이 전부 다 막혀요. 그걸로만 거의 20코스트는 거의 이득을 본 것 같은 느낌이에요.
10점이요. 그냥 무리 절대 안 하고 진짜 되게 안전적으로 했어요.
그럼 나 9.9점 할래.
오케이.
한국 홈그라운드에서 한국 팀이 우승하는 모습 꼭 보여드리겠습니다.
할게요.
일대에서 약간 실수를 하면서 안타깝게 졌지만 그래도 KOH에서 극복해서 기분이 좋아요.
기대는 했었어요. TNT 선수가 경기를 진 다음에 좀 강해지는 선수이기 때문에.
그건 뭐였어요?
할 게 없다 너가.
공을 까는 게 가장
그게 베스트다.
맞고 2배 때까지는 최대한 버티면서 하려고 했지.
이 무덤을 2배 전에 가면 많이 힘들어지니까.
여기서 약간 손이 미끄러져서 저걸 느꼈었어.
근데 여기서 상대도
그냥 패가 지상이 없어가지고 약간 짠했어.
어쩔 수 없었어 근데. 그래서 좀 코스 차이 벌어지긴 했는데
상대가 내 코스 없는 걸 몰랐나 봐.
알지 않았을까? 앞에 틀렸네.
여기서 머리 빼면서
근데 눈덩이 너무 잘 썼어. 그래서 이득 너무 많이 봤어. 여기다. 쫄만 했어 이거. 그리고 또 여기서 눈덩이.
파울 줄 알고.
그래서 좀 많이 위험해지긴 했어. 그래서 배틀램 박히고.
여기서 거였구나.
또 고리부터가 살짝 말렸어. 그래도 여기서 무덤들이 많이 들어가지 않아?
여기서 눈덩이만 미니한테 쓰고 데미지 좀 입히고
도 안 쓴 게 너무 잘했어 이거.
쓰면 터진다.
그리고 또 고리로 양쪽 막히고. 작년도 좀 많이 아팠지 이게. 그래도 맞고.
여기서 약간 쫄아가지고 또 내리.
이건 안 냈으면 근데 박혔을 걸?
아니요.
근데 여기서 눈덩이가 너무 잘 들어왔어.
형이랑?
아니 너가. 둘 다 맞고.
아, 이 눈덩이가 좋네.
그러니까 다 잡히고 이게 또 타워 고쳐. 미니언 안 내가지고. 여기서 끝났지 그냥. 여기서 끝났어. 진짜 이 판 눈덩이가 공격이 다 했다 그냥. 눈덩이로 너무 많은 이득을 봤다. 공격 때도 딜 많이 주고.
아슬아슬했네. 근데 질 뻔했다. 공오리를 일단 깔고 수비적으로 하다가 무덤으로 데미지를 조금씩 입히면서 이기는 대회예요. 코스트 손해를 보기 싫으시면 눈덩이로도 충분히 데미지를 입힐 수 있어요. 그냥 제가 좋아하기 때문에 오피라고 안 할게요.
너프 될까봐?
저는 당연히 오피다요.
너프가 필요합니까?
아 무조건 필요합니다 이건.
근데
최대한 많은 경기들을 이겨서 높은 곳으로 올라가고 싶어요.
Let's go.
And welcome back to match 3, the winners bracket of Group 1 between Sandbox Gaming and OG and Entus, the winners from the first 2 matches of today. That was a little bit longer of a break compared to all the other breaks because the teams, they had to decide all the rosters and the band card right after the second match. Now we have no idea who's going to come out, what the band card is actually going to be. We'll have to see.
Yep, everything is up in the air. Once again, we have Sandbox Gaming and OG and Entus here. These two teams going up against each other in the winners bracket of the playoffs on the first day of playoffs is interesting because both of these guys are from Group B.
Are you saying Group B is stronger?
I didn't say that.
You said interesting. Interesting doesn't mean anything in casting words.
It's very interesting to see the second place team and the fourth
roster
place
time.
team.
Oh, TNT in the bench. Another freeze ban from Sandbox and Ram Rider ban. So one big thing I would like to point out is that OG and Entus, they've only showed a little. Only played 4 games in total of 1v1 and 2v2. Sandbox, on the other hand, they had to show a lot. Even though Sato had a big 3-0 wipe, I think still OG and Entus can have a lot more hidden cards, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, that's definitely true. And what I'm worried about, especially for Sandbox, even though Sato had a great game, and as a team itself, Sandbox had a great game by coming to the winners bracket. But the reason I actually said that they were both from Group B is because they've gone up against each other multiple times. And Sandbox was 4th, OGN was basically first for a very long time until the end of the season, and they got dropped down to 2nd. So there were many times where OGN literally just beat Sandbox during the regular season. So that's why I'm actually worried. And the fact that they're both from the same group, they've gone up against each other many, many times.
I'm on the other side of things. So I literally think, well, where it does matter just a little, but a lot less, because we have a total different meta now.
True.
Especially for that 1v1, 2v2. It's a big change with a lot more witches than before, and a lot more, maybe a few more wall breakers, and depending on the cards, a lot. In terms of average elixirs, a lot cheaper than before for sure on 2v2. But for 1v1, it's totally new. It's like a new page.
Yes, it's a new book.
Yeah, new pages to write on, basically.
Yeah, correct.
There's very few, only one chapter, only 1 week of history with the deck that we're actually seeing from today. So I think for OG and Entus, I think they do have a higher chance. But Sandbox also having a really good chance of just moving out straight. The winners from this match, we only have one more match to go through before they would potentially go into the finals.
Game 1.
This is an important one between the two Korean teams. First game of 2v2.
Gotta remember, no tornado ban.
Yeah, tornado is allowed. And what does that bring you? Just a lot less air units?
All right, well, we're still gonna see Lava Hound. Giant Skeleton makes sense as well. They're gonna be carrying the tornado just in case for that death damage to group things up. So right now, just at the right off the bat with the Inferno Tower as well, Sandbox, if they're obviously gonna have the tornado, it's gonna be pretty good. It's gonna be pretty good. They have the Giant Skeleton, they have the tornado for the pups if they need it actually to be used. Or pull in the units. Oh, King Tower activation coming through with that death damage.
Just in case of a miner. Also needs to place it quicker. So Lumberjack RG coming from Sandbox Gaming this time. Yes, the first tornado, but still the rage is on. The cage right before. But after the cage, 2 shots, I believe.
Yeah, and the sad thing is the Royal Giant, even the tornado and everything was used for OGN. It was so healthy. There was no like units to actually bring it down super quickly, the HP of the Royal Giant, that it still got so many shots. OGN is just a little bit on the back foot here.
So in terms of spell and the cards we've been seeing so far, I think Sandbox has a good chance. If Cage is the only building card, even though Tornado can pull the RG, I think Sandbox is okay because they have the Lightning against the Inferno. So overall, seeing all the counters back to each other, I think Sandbox has a good chance of taking this one. Even with that King Tower activated, it doesn't really matter too much with that RG now.
There we go, right off the bat. Lightning coming in from OGN. They wanted to make something out of this. The Inferno Tower is going to redirect. Still not enough damage.
Actually, one of them brings the Fisherman into the death range of the Giant Skeleton, which is good news for Sandbox again. And Lava, Bridge Lava. No
Bridge
Inferno
Lava.
this time. They might be ready soon.
They're going to have to cycle through if they want to put it down, but so far, no sign of an Inferno Tower. Poison, they're just going all in OGN. They know they were on the back foot at the start. Everything is being used.
Wiped again, ready with that Mega Minion. Good pull with that Tornado, so the pups, no damage.
Another Bridge Lava incoming, I suspect. Oh, unless now they have to defend against this Bridge spam coming from Sandbox here.
Yeah, good Fisherman read and a pull from the Giant Skeleton, which allows RG to connect. Okay, just 2 shots, and the death damage does not connect to the Baby Dragon and an Inferno, because it was dragged a little bit slightly towards the right side. And a pocket RG again with the Lumberjack.
All right, they want to force OGN to defend against this, even use the Lightning to get that RG in there.
But no shot only connected to the cage. The Brawlers here at Dark Prince.
Lightning Poison is all OGN needs. There we go, that one Lightning.
Yeah, does not get the straight damage from the Brawler. But OGN takes game 1. What a big push. I thought Connie and Sada from Sandbox was having a better lead.
Yeah.
Because of only cage available. But the bridge spam Lava with a few attack when they're ready with that own Lightning, which was a little bit surprising from me.
Oh, to see the Lightning with it. Yeah, that is true.
That early on, yeah, without too many stacked units behind it. it actually worked really well.
And OGN, it just feels like in the beginning, you saw them kind of stare at each other in the beginning when they were taking a lot of damage. They pulled the tornado, the RG with the tornado, but it still got like three shots in. They knew they were on the back foot, and there was a moment where they just forced everything in, the poison, the lightning, everything, to allow even just the Lava Hound to do more chip damage. And they're able to tie things up, and then Sandbox was trying to pressure with the bridge RG. And that was the moment where OGN had to make the perfect choices.
Yeah, that Lightning overall, both teams were really good, but OGN got a lot more use out of it right after. Both teams holding one tornado. In terms of pull, what removes is that OGN was there directly removing the winning condition, which is RG. But what Sandbox is doing on the other side, it's not really thinking about the lava too much, but all the units that are coming from the ground.
Yeah.
And if you don't have a second one, you don't really have anything against the lava then. So big changes were coming through. Let's see what game 2 brings. OGN leading 1-0. No freeze again. Tornado, as you can see, is pulling a lot. And also Sandbox, even though they had the giant skeleton, didn't really get the death damage with the tornado.
Yep, death damage is definitely crucial, whether it lands on a Princess Tower or just gets rid of like 2 to 3 units on the bridge. But we're back with the Royal Recruits. Nice executioner for that Lava Hound.
Only recruits. Yeah, and
the pups will actually spread this time.
The executioner does not have the perfect clean wipe, but still that's really good enough to make your defense work.
So far, Sandbox just forcing it in there with the Lava Hound, but as we know it, OGN has more than enough cards and units to defend against this Lava Hound push. Even though they did take the first initial punch here, I don't think OGN is too worried at the moment.
Was a lot of damage early on.
Okay.
But was that fireball?
Yeah.
Just a little too early.
I was thinking the same thing. And a lot more chip damage going in. E-Wiz, there was already 2 poisons.
Yeah, a lot of chicken damage went into OGN and Entus Thunder and 1 Crown too.
Yep, they felt that. Constant pressure, non-stop.
So 4-2 split this time.
And you got to remember, whenever we nice lightning. Whenever we see Royal Recruits, double elixir time is actually when the Royal Recruits shine, and now we're finally into it.
Yeah, because OGN knew that they were losing a tower anyhow. Yeah, double miner on the back, but E-Wiz delaying
and the Valkyrie
damage.
Connects. One swing.
But a big tornado pulling it all the way. Still Sandbox waiting for the perfect time.
That perfect time may never come because there's only 35 ahead. You need to bridge it. You need to bridge it. Gotta get something out of it.
Yeah, Inferno's not the best tool against the Royal Recruits. Bomb tower.
Good against the Royal Recruits.
It does come in really handy when you're having that area damage on the ground. Yes, against the Recruits, getting all the shields out. OGN Entus with the rocket. Fireball plus log is going to do it 10 seconds.
Yeah, they're gonna try to tie it up, but look at this. Mega Minion and the Lava Hound connected to the Princess Tower.
Ice Spirit to delay it. Even the Fisherman gets onto the tower and down to sudden death. And that death
is OGN. Wow, that was a good game. That was a good game. Sandbox figured something out. They knew that they had to pressure, and even we were so far away from double elixir time, and Sandbox was already spamming bridge lavas.
I'd say good setup with the lava. Yeah, because OGN was concerned a little bit too much about their ground units, Executioner is still great. I believe this is a fireball moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I doubted my eyes and saying, is that a defensive poison? No, that's not a defensive poison. Yeah, that did a whole lot of damage.
Definitely did.
Maybe he was trying to time it
for the pups?
I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
that was what it was for, and just went out just a little too early. Before the pups broke out, got the Mega Minion though, that's at least not as bad.
But it kills the point though. It did do a lot of damage because it wasn't a defensive poison, it was an offensive poison, already doing so much damage. And it was close. I think here at the end, right, they do tie it up, but they, before this highlight came out, the rocket was used, so many things were used, so they had so little elixir to defend. And when that happens, when the pressure is coming and you're literally just trying to tie things up for the moment, that is really just for the moment.
Yeah, to collect one more crown.
All right, well, all right. It seems like we have a couple in the stands. The girl is rooting for OGN. The boy is rooting for Sandbox.
Who knows, maybe they're not a couple.
No, they had the couple ring on. They had to be a couple. They had to be. They had the same ring on their fourth finger. Oh gosh, who's gonna win now?
I'm not gonna say anything about them.
Well,
Okay, 1-1.
timeout was called for OGN. They wanted to secure set 1 to comfortably allow the 1v1 player to play whatever he feels like comfortably and not get in a clinch to feel that, you know, he's pressured to win.
In terms of deck cycle, a lot heavy focus on the lava. All of a sudden,
Yeah.
to switch into lava, which is still really strong in 2v2, even when tornadoes is allowed. I think the key is all the lightning that they have been providing and a few off-timing spells. Let's see, other team who's gonna be the winner for this 2v2. Connie Sando pair in the bottom. Thunder 1 crown from OGN on top. So no Ram Rider. Then do you suddenly bring like a Hog Rider?
Well,
Graveyard this time.
Yeah, OGN's gonna switch things up. Sandbox sticking with the Lava Hound. Offensive poison here.
Yeah, Valkyrie was taken care of okay with the Mega Minion. Still, that's plus 500 damage.
Yeah, which means the Graveyard did at least 300 damage here with the poison that they put down. So, not a bad trade for the early game trade for OGN. Nice lightning to get that value out of the Ewiz and the Baby Dragon that was locked onto the Lava Hound.
Yeah, the pup's doing a little too much
yeah.
because the Princess Tower was actually locked onto the Baby Dragon for some time.
Oh. My goodness.
And the Giant Skeleton just removed from the Bomb Tower. Easy.
The moment I compliment OGN for doing pretty good damage on the bottom right with the Graveyard, they take so much more. And now Sandbox Gaming once again is in a comfortable position to split pushes, to bridge lavas like they are doing right now, to pressure OGN.
Okay, OGN has a lot of elixirs, so double Baby Dragon. Valkyrie on the bridge for now.
You have to keep in mind, Sandbox, all they want is for OGN to not have that many chances to use the Graveyard. And this is working out for them right now.
Okay, great timing on that tornado. And the pull with the Baby Dragon. It keeps the damage away at least, even though Sandbox also tried the same.
Yeah, and actually Sandbox's tornado allowed one shot from the Baby Dragon to do a split attack, not split, splash damage onto the Princess Tower as well. That was great. This is the moment where Sandbox has to defend because the Graveyard is definitely coming.
Yeah, double elixir time, here we go. And an offensive poison from OGN.
Defensive one as well from Sandbox to get rid of that Graveyard.
Yeah, not too much from the Skeletons. Just now coming down from OGN's side, but the Brawler gets one.
But still, all in all, Sandbox had a great defense. Not so much damage being taken, and look at OGN's HP, 249.
Yeah, in few spell cycles, and in one lightning
one
spell.
lightning.
Sandbox, all they have to do is defend for 15 seconds.
Just gonna get rid of it. There we go, another Graveyard. This is
Defensive poison from a Sandbox that basically secures it unless something crosses over the bridge and locks up to the Princess Tower. What a surprise! Sandbox taking the 2v2.
Okay. So all the things in my mind, I was like, all right, this team is fourth, this team is what? It doesn't matter. They're in the same group, doesn't matter. This is the playoffs, everything is clean slate. Sandbox takes on OG and Entus, who was actually one of the stronger teams in their same group during the season.
Yeah, right now how you adapt when you pair up the best cycle for your own 2v2, you have that much of a teamwork. Communication becomes one key, preparation too, but on stage performance, I think that's what mattered for OGN. Last match, it was crystal clear performance from them, but this one, especially in Game 3, it just did not click for Thunder and One Crown.
Definitely did it. And Sandbox brought the lava deck back to back in Game 2 and 3. So I was thinking in my head, all right, OGN definitely has an idea. They're gonna actually change their decks. They did, but you know, they weren't as prepped to go up against the Lava Hound. It wasn't as good as the other games that they played against the Lava Hound deck. But also for Sandbox Gaming, they knew what they had to do against the Graveyard deck, right? They were pressuring. They didn't give them the chance to even use the Graveyard that many times.
Yeah, and when they had the chance, we're talking about Game 3, of course, when the highlight goes through Game 1 and 2. Sandbox was ready with the defensive poison, so as long as you keep the defensive poison and you have all the units making sure they go down before they cross the bridge, or the moment they do, they will be going down very soon.
It's just great to just have poison for Graveyard or even recruits that came out from OGN. So I think poison in Game 2 and 3 was the MVP spell that actually helped or kept Sandbox Gaming safe.
Tower, good pull there. And 2 defensive poisons against 2 Graveyard coming down from top. It was excellent defense. Is exactly what you would want to have when you're expecting this much Graveyard to come out in 2v2. You gotta put at least one key unit to go against what's about to come.
Yep, and now we see Icelaw versus Dandelion, and Dandelion beat Icelaw twice. So they played against each other twice. Dandelion is 100% win rate against Icelaw, but today it's just been reverse day. So who knows? Icelaw might just beat Dandelion for the first time in this league.
Gotta bring out something different. This guy, this player on your screen, don't want to play Royal Recruits when no one does. And when everyone does, he does not play it.
Yeah.
Actually looked up all of his 1v1 this season. Yeah, not really going to play that Royal Recruit. Actually moving away from all the cards. The one player actually used Mirror in Clash Royale League Asia and won. So Mirror 100% win rate so far.
Well, he is the off-meta player here, Dandelion, going up against Icelaw.
Game 1.
Okay, we're ready.
Yes, we are.
We're certainly ready for this 1v1. Nothing heavy, quick cycles. Both players dropping Mega Minion
Icelaw
at the same time.
Icelaw leaked 0.1 elixir less. It's not gonna matter too much, but
Yeah, at all only with archers. And with the Fisherman type and a Tesla. We've seen some expos, not too many times, but with a Tesla just once from Expo Master last week.
Okay, so are we really gonna just go with the 2 classics?
But it's not really the most common deck to see with the Mega Minion, though.
That is true, but Dandelion, on the other hand, so far just an RG.
And Tesla is also just great against the wall breakers too.
But we also saw in the VCR where Dandelion, he just says, oh, Tesla is just a great card, period. And he just loves just sticking it in there. This
Yeah,
time-
not against the Skarmy though.
That's true. That is true. Well, double furnace, this is gonna start causing problems. And right now, so far, Ice Law isn't doing anything about the furnace itself. He's just defending against the Fire Spirit with Tesla.
Yeah, I'm
Doing a
starting
great
to get
job.
a thinking that Tesla is actually for the furnace. Because you see so much furnace,
Yeah.
that Tesla is a great tool against all those Fire Spirits.
It's true. It is true. All right, double elixir time. Now it's gonna start to boil up.
You just get the Ice Golem to go all the way out.
Okay.
So you gotta have something here against the Furnace. Graveyard is going to be really hard, even if it's like a balloon push. Maybe you can make that work with a Mega Minion or just a straight up RG if you get a time.
All right, well.
So onto the other side of things.
Graveyard being put down. Even the freeze.
But only catches the Baby Dragon, not the Fisherman, no Mega Minion.
But the thing that was able to, Ice Law's Graveyard was able to do was because the Ice Golem was tanking the Princess Tower beforehand.
Yeah, Tesla's okay against the RG, but not the best.
Yeah, especially
3
with
shots gone.
these many units coming through.
Yeah, with the log, it was actually no shots onto the tower from RG, but the Fire Spirit's actually connecting onto the left side.
All right, well, the archers will do the job to keep the Fire Spirit at bay for the moment, but they're so close right now. 16-20, 16-29. I think one good Graveyard could actually turn things around for Ice Law, but it's gonna be just, like Dandelion knows that, so he's not gonna give him the chance to do that.
Yeah, big moment will be the next Lightning. The reason why Dandelion's just keeping all the elixirs, maybe find the time with an RG with plus the Lightning after all the furnace setup. 3 furnaces.
Oh my goodness.
So the Graveyard has no effect right now.
Right now, Ice Law, even though he wants to use it, or he thinks in his mind, there's no chance. And because he has both furnaces down.
Fire Spirit.
Did it connect?
Yes, on one.
Yeah.
Just one.
There we go. He's just gonna have to use it.
Okay, freeze. Can you when you have an RG on the left?
That's the big problem. The Fire Spirit's coming down from the back, gets killed. Nice defense with the skeletons for Tesla. Wow, this game, literally, all right, finally a bridge RG here to make the difference coming in from Dandelion.
Yeah, Tesla all the way on top to keep the Baby Dragon also away. Great log from Dandelion, actually getting all the units pushed.
Okay. But all in all, you gotta see the spells. Ice Law only has a log.
Yeah, this is the big push from Ice Law with the Ice Golem, but the Furnace is ready.
And even the skeletons, it's not gonna get too much.
Even if he had the freeze on the Furnace, it wasn't going to catch the Mega Minion, so not worth it this time.
Correct, and as long as Dandelion defends this and maybe even get a shot off, he has the lightning and the log.
Okay, big push. Arjon to the left. This one's gonna be a freeze, very likely.
Oh gosh.
But everything just keeping that away from the freeze line.
All right, well, they were both doing, damage to each other, but that RG definitely did a lot more.
Yeah, because Dandelion's Furnace was already set up. There was Baby Dragon, Fisherman, everything against that Graveyard.
All right, pressuring with the Graveyard. 30 seconds left. So this might be the last push that...
And another Furnace right next to it. But okay, this Skeleton actually did a whole lot of damage.
No, but not good enough. There's a lightning for Dandelion. 15 seconds left, and even an RG pressure coming on the left side.
Can have the Furnace, the Tesla set up, but gone instantly.
Oh gosh, there we go.
Defensive freeze, but the lightning damage did go into the tower. Great catch ending, and Ice Law will not get his chance in the first game. Graveyard certainly not working out against the RG, just a little stronger.
All right, well, it was close, but as we know it, Dandelion obviously knows that he needed to pressure. He was defending it, splitting the furnaces at one point we had 3 healthy furnaces down for Dandelion. And Islaw, he knew already from the get-go, all right, this guy he's just not allowing me to use any of my winning conditions. And he started to force graveyards, and it's obviously it's not going to work out.
Yeah, this is the reason why you bring the poison along with the graveyard, why it's the pair.
Yeah.
When there's a building next to your own graveyard, skeletons just do not do as much damage to the tower. That's why he brought the freeze. Okay, it makes sense. But when the furnace is just there the entire time, it's just a lot harder when you have 3 furnaces set up at a time. One on the left, one on the right, always, even one at the center. Yeah, your defending Tesla is going to have a tougher time going against the RG, Baby Dragon, Fire Spirits. So it wasn't perfect defense. All in all. And then the Fire Spirits connect to the tower sometimes. That actually became the difference maker at the end by a couple hundred.
Yeah. Definitely did. And you know, the great thing about furnace is you set up a furnace and you're recollecting your elixir, but then if you graveyard freeze, that's 9 elixirs off the bat. So if you have a pre-positioned furnace and then you have to use 9 elixirs for graveyard freeze, Dandelion, we saw him do it. He just counters with the Royal Giant on the bridge, and when that happens, we saw Islaw literally just put down a skeleton, 1 cost, and then saved up for a Tesla to put it down a little bit late. So the late defense against the Royal Giant is gonna just do so much more damage, especially when your opponent already has a furnace placed down anyways. So yeah, Dandelion just played great against a graveyard deck. He knew it, he knew what he had to do. That's why the timeout was called from Sandbox.
Yeah, one more game for Dandelion, where OG and Entus is going to bring us to King of the Hill. And Islaw trying to take this one easy and go to the final match of try to move out, advance into the finals of the Group 1 here. I think it's still possible, but Dandelion always has something else for us. Game 2 time. OG and Entus can have a big comeback with this 1v1. Islaw certainly has the potential as the ace player for Sandbox Gaming.
All right. Are we going to King of the Hills, or are we going to see the comeback of Islaw? Take our time here. We might just see another double elixir. Nope.
We saw a lot more bats along with the wall breakers. And we've been seeing a lot more switches into the minions just from today's play. And with the Fire Spirits, it was actually on RG.
Yes, it was. And just Fire Spirit in this meta, especially in the 1v1, is a great card. We mentioned it multiple times. For the wall breakers, it just does a great job. So it makes sense, either Furnace or Fire Spirit. In game 1, Dandelion brought the Furnace. Now he's going to stick with the Fire Spirits. We'll see if Islaw has what it takes.
Yeah, last week from Dragon X, Line was actually using the Fire Spirit along with Expo. And also Expo Master with his Expo Tesla. Yeah, with the minions, so we still don't know exactly what the deck is going to be. But we can narrow it down to few.
And it's Dandelion. He could just bring something else.
Yeah, which is totally true. But with the minions, leaning more towards a cycle.
All right. Well, this is definitely gonna go to that sudden attack. One big, huge push. Double elixir time. Ooh. Gonna match it.
Yeah, Valkyrie set up. A lot more common with the wall breakers, but still can do the same with the Royal Hogs.
I don't know, I think, oh, Fireball. I was gonna say, you know, even the Hunter still fits into that wall breaker deck that we've been seeing here.
Yeah, but straight up RG with the Fire Spirit, as we mentioned, the first thing.
Good, nice Hunter to get rid of it, but RG already connecting 2 shots.
Fireball zap there.
Remember, 15 seconds until sudden death. We've leaked a lot of elixirs here. And Sparky! Hunter, no Goblin. Oh, yeah, there we go. I was going to say. So he's not going to...
Yeah, but a lot faster on 2. With the
Yep.
RG, only the skeletons against the minions.
Yep.
Sparky does take a long time to reach the tower.
Oh, gosh. All right. The King Tower activation is not going to be big.
Okay, it does get the damage into the tower with the skeleton.
Yep. The splash damage. Remember, just 1 tower. And Islaw just turned things around with that Sparky splash damage.
Okay, locked onto the skeleton just before the Valkyrie. Okay, comes another push.
Okay.
Hunter really good against the RG.
Good
only letting 1 hit.
So now Dandelion knows that when he puts down that Fisherman after the Royal Giant, he's going to put the Valkyrie on the right side. So maybe he'll switch things up, but got to get rid of that Goblin Giant first.
And there has to be another Sparky time. The real problem that Islaw has to think about is that, okay, there's a zap to delay a lot of these. Okay, Hunter was just dropped onto the right side. So
yeah.
the RG, best timing.
There couldn't be a better time. And here we go. Islaw is trying to pressure with the counter
It's
push.
a lot faster with the RG though. Islaw,
Oh, and a fireball.
can you make it in time?
Just
Even the Fisherman.
Oh my goodness.
So much faster for Dandelion. He's going to have that win.
All right, well, clean. Sparky shot landing. I thought Islaw turned things around for the moment, but Dandelion not getting nervous. He just kept his calm and kept poise. And 2-0's Islaw. For the 3rd time.
Big miscalculation by Islaw, I just have to say. Or he just said, okay, there's no real big chance of coming back here, as Hunter was possible. I think
Yeah.
some explanation. You could have maybe pulled it away, maybe used the Fisherman in your own way. So somewhat questionable decision at the very end, but it was a really hard counter to go against. You need the Hunter to go against the minions and the RG at the same time. You only have 1 Hunter each cycle.
You don't have a mirror. That's a problem. But yeah, this game number 1 here with the Furnace just doing so much, getting so much value. The Fire Spirits constantly landing on Princess Towers, forcing small units to come out, defending even against the Graveyard. Game number 2. Oh, this was the moment. This is it. The skeleton. Boom!
He gets 1 hit. Yeah, because Hunter was used onto the right side. Yeah, Islaw just said, okay, there's no way.
He was basically wanting to do a race, and he, I guess, wanted to protect the Goblin Giant from anything that's put down. I can kind of understand and get the idea because the Goblin Giant did connect to Dandelion's Princess Tower, but still not going to be the Royal Giant.
Yeah, just a little faster. Okay, same entry from Sandbox. 1 Crown TNT. Yeah, the perfect King of the Hill entry, I would say, from OG and Entus too. It all comes down to this. Who will be the real winner from day number 1 of playoff? They don't still go directly into the final, has to face the final opponent. Yeah, winner of the loser. The opponent who faces against the loser of this match, who wins out from the loser.
Yeah.
Okay? So there's a lot of matches.
Yeah, so they're gonna basically the winner of this match is gonna wait for 2 more matches. So the losers bracket, and then the winner will play the loser of this, and then they'll face the winner. So what we're saying is all these teams, even if they lose, they have so many more chances to make it back up. So don't get too sad if you're a fan of one of the losing teams.
But if you lose twice, you're gone.
Correct.
So that's the hard part about this playoff. But you get to go straight into the finals, not the top 4. So that's what's making us a little bit confused at times, but still, we've got it. So if you win 3, you make it into finals. If you lose 2, you're out.
Correct. And they're gonna just bring up Sato once again. He said, "All right, do your thing."
A heal?
I don't think so.
It was great. It worked. but it's not gonna work all the time. What I'm trying to say, if there's like a fireball, like you're just gonna be wasting a lot of heals. If there's a perfect fireball, perfect log, maybe you can get some value out of the heal, but when you get no chance, which is a lot more common, so it was very risky. It worked near perfectly last time, that's why it looked really nice. It doesn't really happen all the time.
Yeah. So
if it happens all the time, everyone should be using heal.
Oh yeah. That's definitely true, and it worked because it's a one-cost spell that could counter and make your quote-unquote lesser or lesser push make it into a great push with the heal. But like G Club said, it's not gonna work all the time.
Okay, game one. King of the Hill. Let's find out the real winner. Sada from Sandbox and blue bottom. 1 crown. From OG and Entus on top. 1 crown known to be a golem lover from years ago.
But with the wall breakers being shown right off the bat, that's out of the question. There
With
we
the
go.
Goblin Barrel.
So we've seen this deck today.
Yeah, no spell deck.
Yep. Goblin Cage, Goblin everything. Dark Goblin, Goblin Gang. Everything Goblin.
Yeah, instead of Goblin Gang, it can also be the Skeleton Army.
Oh yeah. Or Spirit Goblin. Sometimes we've seen that.
Yeah, I have seen it paired with the Rascals too. So we will see if it's paired up with the Rascals, then there might be some spells.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the Cage, I don't think so.
Yeah, Princess, and there's gonna be Mega Knight. Here we go. Sado definitely 100% knows this. Like everybody here knows this deck. So we'll see if Sado knows how to correctly go up against this. Because we saw this deck dominate already today. Splash damage from the Princess, nice.
Second one. Second shot does land, down to 1557.
Skull Army, okay.
Yeah, which was used by a few of the OG members, so that's why I was guessing.
That's a good call. So no Goblin Gang, no Spirit Goblins. I guess they thought too many Goblins. Oh, the Flying Machine lands twice onto the Princess Tower.
Yeah, if you are not really... If you don't find the perfect timing, its range is actually pretty wild. You have to find that immediate
Because if you put it down,
response.
if you put it down early, the Princess Tower doesn't hit it, right? Yeah, so it's like
it's like timing the Princess before it reaches the tower, sort of. Yeah, Skull Army once again with the Dark Goblin.
Nice zap.
Only a zap, but still 3 punches. That's 4 from the Giant straight into the tower, making it about as even.
This is a great push coming through from 1 crown. Big fireball had to be used.
The wall breakers are going to be the main dishes into the tower. Both of them. And 1 crown leading big time in this game. So bait after bait. Goblin Barrel after that. The Dark Goblin after that. The wall breakers.
Yep, the moment that he saw the fireball for the Goblin Barrel and started to get positive trades, he's just going to put down heavier units after one after another.
Yeah, 1 crown says, not this time, Sado. You've had your 3-0. That's your limit for the day. Lots of Princess out there, even with the tower. The wall breakers come again and again. Sado is going to lose the first game for Sandbox Gaming. OG and Entus. 1 crown with that wall breaker, having lots of bait tools. Taking over the game right here, winning game number 1 in King of the Hill.
All right, well, great game. Because, to be honest, yeah, Goblin Barrel, the Mega Knight Wallbreaker combo that we're seeing here today, we saw less of that compared to the minor Wallbreaker Poison, right? So I think it's good to see a different variation of the Wallbreaker that was still in meta, because everybody's already prepped for, minor Poison Wallbreaker. Because we saw it so many times in a short period of time. I think 1 crown did a great job with the baits, with the counters, and I think Skull Army was great.
Yeah, it was often removed with a zap, but if you're using a zap for the Skull Army, you have to think about a few more. Like the wall breakers, Dark Goblin, and zaps. Zap instant. It's good. Snowball does the job a lot better against these kind of baits, but you don't know what you're going against. Of course, for two elixir spell, Log is the best
Nah, that is true.
compared to the other two.
But all in all, we saw the Great Bait coming out, but now we are moving on to Greed. It's the first time we're seeing him today, even though we already saw 2 games from Sandbox Gaming. We'll see if he's charged this Spirit Bomb long enough to come back and bring down 1 crown to move on to the next player, or if he's gonna lose Tojin and possibly give them the match point.
Yeah, very few games during the season, and a few Graveyard Poison ones. They'd win with those. 2 Sparkies with Goblin Giant. Nah, no good.
Nope.
Loss.
Nope.
Yeah, 1 with Executioner Hog Rider. Another loss. So, which was not the best, but still on to par with the meta, but have not seen the Week 8 pass deck from this guy.
Not so many games, so you never know. People and players that never not played that many games, there's a reason for it, but also they can also surprise you and hit you from the back. So we'll see if 1 crown will be prepped.
He has got to be. It is the playoff. Let's practice weeks for this day. Ready for game 2? I am.
Yes, I am. Here we go.
Greed, the second player up from Sandbox. Ready with Wall Breaker, charging into the cage. Easily defended with your own Brawler now.
And also that poison's gonna get its good value, do the damage, even onto the Valkyrie.
Yeah, exactly the reason why you bring the cage. Yeah, right now you certainly need a building card. Unless you have the perfect spells.
Okay. So far, Greed, he, like we said, didn't see him play after the update, but he is up to date with the patch. See how well he's able to cycle through with this deck.
So Bomb Tower, even with the Magic Archer though, which we have not seen from last week at all. From Greed's side. So 1 crown also trying to get his timing.
All right. So right now, 1 crown has a little bit of an advantage, like 2 something, like roughly 300, but still, it's way too early in the game.
Yeah, even if 1 crown has the Wall Breakers against the Bomb Tower, which he has just seen, he has to bait that out and then place the Wall Breakers.
Yeah, and as you say, bait that out. We'll see if this bait will be good enough for 1 crown to send his Wall Breakers.
No.
Nope. Nope.
Yeah, even if that happens, ready with the Magic Archer. Unless they're literally just spammed from the bridge. Ooh, trying to look for that Pierce shot, so the Miner is going to...
Well, he wants to keep that Witch alive, but the Log is going to finish the job. All right. Greed was on the back foot, but now slowly but surely, the spell damage has brought him closer, and now he has done a lot more damage to 1 crown.
In terms of the cycle, yeah, Greed's got an okay. And a good deal with the Valkyrie on the backside. Poison, yeah, Poison can't be stopped. Oh, the Valkyrie did get a spin.
Yeah.
We saw the animation and the damage.
Definitely went in, and like we said, 1 crown, he's doing his job with just the Miner and the Poison and that 1 Valkyrie swing.
Yeah, both players just locking their Wall Breakers. There's just no way. Good predicted Poison early on. It can be removed by the Brawler.
Okay.
But no further Wall Breaker.
Nope. And now 1 crown, I don't know, maybe in his head he's thinking this is good enough trade for me to go on.
Okay, does the bats? Okay.
Oh, the Miner!
Do. Yeah, they...
It still locks on.
Yeah, all the bats get removed before the Miner comes. You're trying to line that up along with your Miner all the time. So 1 crown, that's why he had the Miner traveled the lowest I mean, the shortest distance.
Ooh. The Valkyrie was placed behind all the way, walking past, and it automatically just started.
But the Pierce did go in once.
Okay.
But the bomb tower missed. That's big. With the next poison from One Crown is going to finish the game. 462 for Greed.
One more prediction. Nice. The Miner's caught by the Valkyrie. And like you said,
Need Pierce shots, but the cage is going to block it.
one more poison. And even a Miner's shovel hit will land. Oh, wait, Pierce shot. Oh my
129, that was
Oh
close.
my goodness.
Oh, One Crown even spent a zap before that to make sure the Miner does at least one more hit, but it did not. Both players after, Greed after playing one wall breaker says, okay, this is not the game to play and waste this much elixirs. One Crown did not even show his final card, which is just, I'm nearly 99.9% sure wall breakers. That's why he didn't really use it. Just finishing over with the poison damage. It's not that Greed had no winning condition. He had the Magic Archer, which I thought was brilliant, only landing few hits, very few hits.
Yeah, we saw when the Magic Archer, you have it, you have to get the piercing shots, and at the end, it actually did one shot, and I was like, all right, one more, he's done, but it was great race that we saw at the end with One Crown as well.
Bomb Tower overall is excellent when there are wall breakers, but when it's never being used, might actually not be. Against the predicted poison coming down from One Crown, just overall just half a step ahead, I would say, in terms of next level play.
Yeah. This was one moment where, One Crown had to put down the cage to defend against the Archer. Here, we got 3 shots in, going like all
Yeah, one more shot with maybe one faster poison tick. He could have won the game. What a close one between the two.
Super close. I was thinking, like, what if Greed's Magic Archer in the middle of the game got like 1 or 2 more shots in the beginning, and then like you would have won.
Yes, Magic Archer, when you have it, your winning condition, not solely on the Magic Archer oftentimes, because you have the Miner, you have the wall breakers, and even if it's away from the wall breakers, you do have the Batter Ram or the P.E.K.K.A. Ram Rider oftentimes. But this time, enough damage was put in, but I felt like he had to risk a lot more to actually win.
Yeah, definitely a lot more risky there, a lot more placement, issues for Greed there. But either way, we're moving on to Ice Law. But right now, Ice Law, yeah, he's the last player. It is match point for OGN, but One Crown, this guy, he's the first man up. And he's already done 2 zeros on that King of the Hill here.
Yeah, with quick cycles. Slaw has been destroying all the cycles for now.
Game 3.
In the past match, he needs to have a 3-0 for Sandbox to win and advance onto the next stage.
Right.
Or is it just One Crown wildly popping out from the 2v2? Got a log ready for your wall breaker if you have any.
He's already showing it. He's all right. Well,
Maybe Ice Law's bait this time.
possible. Or just the Hog and the Fireball was used.
No building.
Yeah. Okay. So far, 3 spells.
With the Tornado Skeleton. Oh no.
Well, we'll see. Ice Law, we saw him use the Magic Archer pretty well, the placements. And there we go with the Expo.
Yeah, it's a defensive one, but just wanted to have the Magic Archer. Safely positioned, draw out another Fireball. Not bad for Ice Law either. Oh, that log was excellent.
It's going to buy him a lot of time. And the Skeleton, the fast cycle is coming through, and the Skeleton actually bought 2 swings from the Dark Prince. Nice placement there by One Crown.
Tornado Log and Fireball. Not the Rocket.
Nope.
So this will be super quick cycle from One Crown. But for Ice Law, it will be tough if One Crown keeps on having a defensive expo like this.
Well, here we go. There we go with the Fireball. What he needed at the beginning, he didn't have it. He activated the King Tower with Tornado, but keeping this defensive expo healthy is going to start causing problems for
But
Ice
but Ice Law, because he has a Mega Knight, which takes a whole lot of shots from Expo. One single elixir mistake from One Crown will draw out at least the tornado, and right after that, it can get out of control, literally out of control. I'm talking about Mega Knight jumping onto the tower and thousands of damage.
That is correct.
With just one split because of those Royal Hogs.
All right.
Yeah, good placement of the Hogs, not letting the log actually catch everything.
Right now, One Crown, he still needs a moment to place the Expo defensively and offensively, and he hasn't got the chance yet. A nice placement of the Magic Arch. This is what I'm talking about. That's 4th already. 6 shots.
Directly into the face, and still surviving.
Ooh, and one more shot before he dies.
He catches on to a whole lot of damage. It's exactly what Ice Law wanted. Okay, another defensive Expo, One Crown. Looking for that chance. It is a sudden death. And when you have that many... Okay, already using a Fireball.
All right, well, that's going to give...
Maybe a little bit hasty with that Fireball.
That gave Ice Law the ghost sign of the Royal Hogs. Going to get rid of the defensive Expo pretty fast.
Yeah, One Crown saw that chance, wanted to chip in some more damage to the tower with that Fireball. That's exactly what it was for. So not going to have his Expo time, going offensive directly into the tower, but still A-okay.
Yeah, he wants to kind of even things out with this Fireball that he's throwing, just for the tower damage here. Here we go, the Mega Knight, healthy Mega Knight coming through.
Yeah, because One Crown was actually leaking Elixir right after that too, but this Expo goes down super quick.
Ooh, no jump, and it's pulling the Mega Knight.
And late tornado after the jump, but the Hogs actually did quite a lot of damage both left and right.
Yep. One Crown's just only gonna solely focus on the bottom left tower.
Yeah, but we only care about the lowest HP.
Yep, that is true.
Doesn't matter if it's 1 or 2.
We'll see. One more defense.
Okay, Ewiz taking some time, and then Mega Minion jumping onto the Ice Golem. Still, no jump, no charges can happen to the tower. But the Hogs are at least reaching to the tower from time to time.
Here we go, this time. Still gonna save up that Fireball and not use it because he has the Expo, and the Ice Wiz is gonna be good enough.
Yeah, good news for One Crown Expo connected to the Magic Archer, making it, keeping its damage away from the tower at all.
Look at the damage that
this Ice Wizard, okay, just away. Thought it was going to be close into the tower too, as well as the Mega Knight.
So this is a big push, even with the Dark Prince taking the Princess Tower for a little bit.
The Golem's taking the area damage.
Oh, the Ewiz, and I think
Second,
one Hog.
Third shot! Now we're talking a different game.
Okay, yeah, now you have to go offensive. And that's gonna... Okay, I was gonna say. It's close enough. The cage was good.
And when that cage breaks... That tornado was...
A cycle?
Wanted the Wizard to be dropping there. One Crown dropped the Wizard right after, so the surprise attack onto the right side.
God.
No tornado! Okay, Fireball, but still takes some damage.
The Expo's still healthy. If he keeps it alive and it locks on...
Okay, Ewiz.
Okay, Ewiz is gonna be good enough. All right, 10 seconds left.
And the Pierce shot does go into the tower. A few more. That secures the game for Ice Law, basically. Maybe with the final shot. Not just in time. Okay, One Crown is not going to have his dream day today.
No, it was fun though. It was crazy. One Crown was just, he's like, all right, defensive Expo, spell damage all the way. It almost worked until Magic Archers and everything else started to cause problems.
Until, I think, the tornado.
Yeah, that was
because big. I was about to think that Expo might actually connect to the tower because he has like a half elixir lead. Yeah, when you play that many Expo, you just kind of have that feeling. You don't actually know, like, oh, I'm 0.27 elixirs ahead. Who knows?
Yeah, but you get the feeling.
You get the feeling that, okay, I think I have a chance right here. And I think he had the chance,
Yep.
but blew that out with that tornado.
Very
Like
unfortunate.
20
for that.
seconds before the time ran out. But still, One Crown had a big 2-0, 2-1 run in the King of the Hill. I think that's good enough for him. He brought 2 down. Ice Law seems like a strong mountain to climb. But still 2 more members for OG and Entus.
Yeah, this was the moment with the tornado, and no, this is what I expect though from the playoffs. Get some great comebacks, going back and forth instead of sweeps. So we'll see. Ice Law, will he be able to tie things up? Because one more game on OG and Entus is already match point right now.
But
it's TNT.
It's Bomb Tower himself. He's a C4.
Yep.
He's an explosive guy.
TNT.
Ever since it came into Clash Royale League Asia, just has been dominating a lot of 1v1 matchups, especially against big names.
That's how you make a name for yourself.
Yeah, now he did. Now he's and then it's not in past tense form. He keeps on going. He keeps on having great matches, not just 1v1, coming in clutch for the team. And I think this meta really fits TNT well. I'm talking all the decks that he has played that felt really confident like previous seasons and before. It's about his time. Kind of how we felt from, what's that guy's name again?
Who?
I can't remember now.
Okay.
Anyhow, it's about time to go into game.
Yeah.
Game 4. It's either Ice Law wins one more, or OGN's gonna take the match. Wall breakers.
Right off the bat. And you talk about TNT, oh, it fits him well. Obviously, he's gonna stick with the meta deck right off the bat. Yep, OGN, they love this deck. They love this Goblin Barrel Wall Breaker deck here.
It's one of the decks that works the best right now because of the Snowball nerf too. It has to bringing the bats because the skeleton. The fisherman was not in range of Princess Tower. Oh, one bat hit. Good bat. Sometimes there are bad bats.
Bad bat.
Bad
there
bats,
are.
They don't even reach the tower with 5 of them.
Yeah, you place it the same way, and sometimes they reach it, sometimes they don't.
Yeah, they need to be like spread out in a row, not a column.
Here we go.
Okay, one of the Fire Spirit gets caught. You know the cool thing about Fire Spirit? They actually jump onto the Mega Knight when they spawn.
Oh.
Yeah,
right.
all the way onto the back.
Ooh, okay.
Ready with the log,
That
though.
was a good log.
Yes.
He was patient enough. But
Yep.
the Baby Dragon connecting top right is going to be crucial for Ice Law. It's going to build up.
Has to worry about the furnace. That's something to worry about for TNT and the incoming lightning from time to time. And yeah, you guessed it. With the Fisherman, Skeleton, Log, Mega Minion, Furnace, Baby Dragon, what can be the final card?
RG.
Yes.
What? Am I taking a test here?
No. Final card, you're wrong.
RG. No, it's a
final card is
it's
healing
an E-Barb.
spell. Oh man, let's not talk about E-Barb.
I said it.
Like, that's a prohibited casting word from Clash Royale League, okay?
It's a Furnace E-Barb. But anyways, yeah, right now we're seeing a little bit more damage coming from TNT, obviously from the Goblin Barrel and the Mega Knight causing problems. But Ice Law still has a chance there because he had a great connection. So we'll see if he's able to kind of force his way to the right side of the lane.
Okay, good jump.
Nice.
Onto the tower though, Ice Law. Because of that, he was able to keep few of his air units.
Okay.
Not going to spend the log for this because he has one.
He used it at the Mega Knight jump right before this.
Oh,
So maybe,
he did.
yeah.
Okay, Fisherman.
Not good enough.
Yeah, Fisherman is not the best tool, but what he had in the hand. Yeah, because of so many spell baits, he's gotta be running out of cards.
Oh gosh, there we go. Double princesses though.
They will chip
Yeah.
eventually. This one,
Nice.
good split. Ready with the log. Double furnace. One taken out from the Fisherman.
Here we go.
No log. Fire Spirits. Okay, just in time.
Gonna keep those two princesses alive. That fisherman is gonna pull the Mega Knight. Oh my goodness, just constant pressure, constant pressure.
But the princess now locks onto the tower! And the jump from the Mega Knight!
Oh my goodness, and one more shot before one of the princes dies.
And then it continues. The baby dragon locks up, but still far away. It still has over 1,000 HP. TNT is about to take the game and the match. Here comes Yarji, a little bit too late, I would say.
A lot late. Gets pulled and
It's about the barrel time, and perfect lock can save the day, but the Mega Knight goes down right before, and the goblins, wall breakers onto the right, 309. The princess now locks on that.
Yeah, that's locked.
Game for TNT.
Oh my goodness.
And the winner of day number 1 of the playoff, it is going to be OG and Entus. Out of Ponos and Kicks. OGN is on top from day number N. And until the finals, they stayed together in a group. That's why we named them in Group 1.
Yep.
And OGN now, after this win, they only have to win one more match to go into the finals.
Yeah, and now all the other 3 team names that you mentioned, Kicks, Ponos, and Sandbox, they have to play 2 more games to go up against OG and Entus one more time to get that one last chance. So, wow, great news for OG, and they can have, while other teams play 1 or 2 more games, they can prep, they can watch, and just prepare to win another one to go to the finals.
Which has an entire week.
Wow.
And be ready. Next Saturday is when they're going to actually play and decide who's going to be moving into the final.
The red side.
Big win for the Korean teams. And of course for OG and Entus. Kicks, Ponos, both of the teams losing in day number 1 was literally unexpected. I was sort of thinking, okay, Kicks Ponos or Kicks OGN. But it's the opposite of what we thought.
Yeah, definitely a surprising day. This is the updated bracket after day number 1 of the playoffs. And tomorrow we're going to get the right side, Valve Gaming, Chaos Theory, and OPGG Sports and Dragon X.
Tough day for Ponos and Kicks. If you're Ponos or Kicks fans, they still have a chance. They're not out of the league yet.
Nope.
Tomorrow, focus on to the right side now. Valve Gaming versus Chaos Theory. Oh my god. Oh, yeah. That's Spencer, guys, versus Jack. It's gotta be like that. It just has to be like that.
It's gonna be legendary.
Yeah, and then OPGG Sports Dragon X, another KR versus KR. So one team's gotta drop down from that point. What an interesting matchup tomorrow. I mean, when the time comes for a playoff, every single match is just much more enjoyable. Even though it's the same best-of-3 format. That's what you're going to get tomorrow. Same time, Sunday, 7 p.m. KST. If you come down to the venue, you can watch it live. Yes, you can watch it live in front of your eyes. The players, the Korean commentators, and right next to them, us too. Maybe you can hear us too.
Screaming.
Yes.
But anyways.
Yeah, we saw a lot of different variation in 2v2, 1v1 today, especially from Ponos and Kicks. Maybe they'll try something like that, but I'm not expecting that to happen from Fav at all, or Chaos. Well, Chaos did try Benzer in 2v2 one of the day.
Yeah.
But in this important matchup, I don't think so.
I gotta disagree, only because we saw heal today.
You're trusting Sado that much?
Yeah, because
his heal spell changed the world? Is that what you're saying?
Today was
the Michael Jackson of Clash Royale?
It was an important day, and he had the nerve and he had the audacity to bring the heal spell and win with it.
Yeah, either I take the risk, I win, or I lose big time and take all the toxic. So it was a big moment, 3-0. Yeah, just take it all. You're the Michael Jackson for Clash Royale League
At least
now.
today.
For now, for today.
For today.
Only. Yes, because, what happened to... But still, they lost from the winners bracket, so they have a lot more chances. What an exciting day already. Crazy amount of customization coming out from all the players. 2v2, 1v1, you name it. We continue tomorrow with the other side of the playoff. Keep tuning into Clash Royale League Asia. We'll be back very soon.